Yeah, we're here.
Okay. Just so you know, too, if you guys need to try to talk to me during the break, I'm not going to hear you. So you need to text me to let me know that I need to listen to you during the break for something. Also, if I have any scores or technical stuff to pass along, I'm going to text Scott.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay?
Okay.
But
I'll
that's
let him
the
know.
other problem with Q, because it, like, I won't hear you trying to go, hey, here's this or what. So one thing that will be helpful is to call the length of your breaks. Scores will be 30, will be scores 30. And, of course, end of quarters are 30. Halftime will be 90, 90, 90. And unless we need something else, okay?
Okay, we'll be fine, man. Don't worry about it.
No, I know. I'm just saying I don't like the fact that it's not as easy for you to communicate with me and for me to communicate with you.
Yep, I got it.
So we'll get through. All right, let me know. I'm standing by.
Okay. Brian, you can roll open anytime.
Okay, we'll get you going here in just a second.
McDonald's, the UPS Store, Clark Transportation, IBEW Local 702, and First Mid-Bank and Trust. The Lions are also powered by Polar Whip, the Bank of Heron, Joe's Lawn Service, Ron Ward Chevrolet, Charlie's Air Conditioning and Heating, and John A. Logan College. These businesses also support the Carterville Lions, SIU Credit Union, Infinity Realty, Rob's Pit Barbecue, Firemasters, Childers Orthodontics, and Pantera Bank. It's time for the Carterville Lions on NewsRadio WJPF. Here's Scott Hudson and the voice of the Carterville Lions, Dave McKenzie.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Van Meter Field in DuQuoin, Illinois, as your Carterville Lions are getting set to take on the DuQuoin Indians in the first conference game for 2022. I'm Dave McKenzie. Scott Hudson is alongside. Good evening. It's your favorite hour. It's the golden hour here at Van Meter Field.
It is.
Your social media posts are going to look fantastic.
I tell you what, I can't wait to see them myself. But back to the football game. Week 4, beautiful night for high school football. It's been a little warm, a little muggy, but we've got a nice breeze coming in. Great new turf here at DuQuoin, and we should be in store for one heck of a football game.
This turf looks absolutely beautiful here at Van Meter Field. Of course, we were talking a little bit earlier. You know, Carterville was the first team to put the turf in southern Illinois. DuQuoin was next. Pinckneyville followed DuQuoin. And Carterville put down replacement turf this year. DuQuoin did as well, and this looks great. And what I really like about it is the fact it's got the word Indians right between the hash marks in big letters. That looks beautiful.
Yeah, it's a little bit different than what other teams have in the middle of their field, or in this case, from one 10-yard line to the other. It does look great. We walked out on it earlier, and I said it felt like a shag rug.
You almost took a nap out there.
I did. I mean, if the sun hadn't been in my eyes, I'd probably been snoring out there right now. But it's a beautiful turf, and this is a beautiful night for what's hard to believe already week 4 of the high school football season.
It is hard to believe. This is your McDonald's pregame report, and of course, Carterville coming off a huge win over Murfreesboro a week ago, 49-28. And DuQuoin comes into this game, Scott Hudson, 1-2 on the season, and they are in dire need of a win.
They are, and they probably feel like they should be 3-0 against Harrisburg a couple weeks ago here. I think they had like 4 chances inside the 10 and did not get any points out of those possessions. Last week at Heron, they had a wide-open receiver who caught the ball, probably was going to score. He got a cramp, fell to the turf. Then they had another wide receiver, wide open. He juggled the ball and dropped it. And then probably what was the breaking point was, I think it was their quarterback ran last play of the game. What I was told, if he dives into the end zone, he makes it. Instead, he tried to take the Heron defender straight on. That Heron defender knocked the ball out at the 1-yard line. Game over. So they have been their own worst enemy in some of their losses.
DuQuoin won their first game of the season. It was a 26-0 shutout over Chester. They dropped a 25-14 game, Scott just mentioned, to Harrisburg, and then last week to Heron. Carterville opened the season the 28-0 shutout win over Benton, and then in week 2 beat Heron 15-11. Last week they opened up the offensive gates. The running game was fantastic. Played as good of a high school football game as you could probably play.
I think after that game, Coach Dahl probably watched tape, and he probably maybe found 1, maybe 2 things he could nitpick at to find that did not go right, because Carterville, they just dominated Murfreesboro from the start of the game to the end of the game we saw a Carterville team on both sides of the ball that we knew that we'd probably see sooner rather than later.
So that is Scott Hudson. I'm Dave McKenzie as the Carterville Lions start to head to the locker room for their final chat with head coach Brett Dial. DuQuoin has already gone to the locker room. We're going to go on and take our first break here on our McDonald's pregame report. When I come back, you're going to hear from the head coach of your Lions. That's Brett Dial. It's next on News Radio WJPF.
You're just a few taps away from crispy, golden, and delicious.
Just straight to the interview.
Say it
Don't
again.
miss app-only McDonald's deals, like 50% off any medium or large McCafe beverage.
Yes, we'll take
Dave, I had you down.
we'll take a break after coach.
Okay, but I mean, I'm sorry.
You there?
I had you down. I didn't. No bump out of the break, right? Right to coach.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, and then out of the coach, we'll go right to break. Then we'll get a bump back.
Yep. That'll work.
Okay.
Programming, please.
There's only so much time in the day. That's why People's National Bank makes banking easy and convenient with T&B.
Coach Brett Dowell joins us on our pregame show. Coach, looking back, I went back and watched tape, and man, that was just an outstanding performance by your team.
It's a great night for us to learn from and to build off of. You know, it's only week 3, so that can't be the top of the mountain. You know what I mean? We got to continue to work from that and continue to get better. And you know, if we're able to improve a little bit each week off of that performance, you know, we're going to be a really tough out. But if we get satisfied and think that's as good as it gets and go on a downward spiral, well, then we'll just be average. So we're on them right now to keep focus. You know, as coaches too, you know, we've got to make sure that we're doing things to keep people honest and looking at our tendencies and making sure that we're not getting too predictable and just challenge our guys every day. And that starts with our energy as coaching staff, and they respond very well. And, you know, we just got to take it one day at a time and see what happens.
It's the skill players that get all the glory on the touchdowns, but I tell you what, you got to give credit to your offensive and defensive line. They are skill players this year. That
group has definitely, I think, been probably the MVP right now. You know, going through the first 3 weeks of the season, we've controlled the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball all 3 games, and you know, if we can control the line of scrimmage, our chances of winning go up quite a bit each time out. So we just got to continue to, you know, to focus on the little things that can make a team great.
The Carterville Lions come in 3-0, a big win over Murphy. DuQuoin enters 1-2. Is this a trap game?
Well, I mean, I guess. I mean, I'm not a
maybe not the right terminology.
Right. No, but yes. I mean, right. I know what you're saying is, you know, and that's kind of the complacency component. If we're satisfied with what happened a week ago, then yes, it's a trap game. If we're hungry for more, then you know we do what we're supposed to do and take care of business. We'll be fine. So. We just got to take care of the football. We got to be penalty free on the road, and I think good things can happen.
What about this DuQuoin team?
You know, obviously it's a very good football program. They've been in every game. You know, they won week 1 and then they lose to Harrisburg week 2 and Heron week 3, but both were by, I think one was by, you know, maybe 11 and the other one was by 6. So it's not like they're just, you know, lying down and getting walked all over. I mean, they're competing, and they're going to have a lot of pride. These guys their backs are against the wall. They're going to come out swinging. We know that. We got to take some of their punches here on the road, and they're going to have some momentum at some point in this game. That's what home teams do, and we've got to weather the storm, and we've got to create a little bit of our own atmosphere and make them keep up with us.
This is one of 4 games where you're going to be playing on new turf.
Yeah, I mean, it's Wow, we're spoiled. I mean, to play 8 games of our 9 on turf, and like you said, 4 of, well, I mean, more than 4 because ours is new. So every home game we play, which is 5 of them, and then this field and in Harrisburg, so 7 of the surfaces we play on this year are brand new. So very fortunate. I mean, if you would have told me that 25 years ago, when I was in high school, that basically our entire schedule would be turf, I would never have believed that in a million years. So it just shows you how far things have come, and like I said, we're very fortunate to be where we're at.
Coach, good luck tonight. We'll talk later.
All right, thank you.
Scott Hudson, you just heard from Coach Brett Dial. What'd you think there?
Well, I think he's the guy that doesn't want a coach that doesn't want his team to get too high or too low. You know, stay the course. You had a great game against Murfreesboro, but as he said, that cannot be the high point of the season. You have to build off that win, get better in certain areas where maybe you weren't that good last week.
We're on a break, guys.
Okay. We didn't have programming, so we didn't know. Still don't have programming.
Really? You should. Wait a minute.
Parking.
You got it now?
Events return,
Yes.
like the kids fishing home, duck and goose calling, super retrievers
I'm
street,
seeing the deal.
and over 100 vendors. The
We got it
2022
now.
John A. Logan College Hunting and Fishing Days are on September 24th and 25th. Org. To buy or sell a home in this area, you have
programming now?
to choose
Yes.
from. But you want a local team that never stops working for you. A locally owned realty, so money stays to help the community. Realtors who know the local market and have the latest technology. Then you'll want Infinity Realty, serving all of Southern Illinois. It's still a good time to sell. Call Infinity to list or buy. 618-9.
Okay, you're coming back after this spot.
33 on Division Street, Carterville. Online at Infinity Realty Homes.
It's the 3-0 Carterville Lions taking on the 1-2 DuQuoin Indians in the first conference matchup of 2022 for these two teams in football. I'm Dave McKenzie along with Scott Hudson. Scott, you heard Coach Brett Dial just moments ago. What were your thoughts?
Well, I think he's a coach that wants to keep his team grounded. He does not want them to get too high or too low. He just wants them to keep playing well. And as he said, he does not want last week's game to be the high point of the season. It was only week 3. He wants them to continue to get better in certain areas. But this team has the ability, has the talent to have a very special season. But you can't get complacent. You can't look at other teams' records. DuQuoin has always played Carterville tough in football games and basketball games. But this is a very physical DuQuoin team. This may be a physical game like we saw 2 weeks ago at Heron.
I think the phrase that might be in play tonight for the Lions is just TCB, take care of business.
Yeah, and last week Carterville had maybe, one penalty that I can remember.
Yes.
They have had no turnovers, and I think Carterville's only turned the ball over one time this year.
And it was a fumble by Hellriegel.
In week 1 against Benton. So Carterville's done the little things, and they've gotten better at not getting penalized since that first or second game. They've also done a better job of converting on third downs. So those are things that they've improved on. They just want to keep that role going.
Scott Hudson, let's talk about the running game of one Bryce Smith. He comes into the game 480 yards on 60 carries for the season. He's averaging 8 yards per carry, 160 yards a game. He literally just gets behind the offensive line, lets them open the holes, and takes them where they lead him.
Well, Coach Dahl has told us several times about his training regiment in the offseason, how he got a personal trainer. He committed himself to being a better football player. And, boy, are we seeing that this year. He is strong. I don't know that I've ever seen any one defender take him down. It usually 2 or 3 players have to take him down because he's so strong, especially in the legs. But he is Carterville's running game right now.
Also in the running game, you have Nolan Hartford, 186 total yards, 26 carries. He's averaging over 7 yards per carry. He's got 3 touchdowns. And then throw in the running game, the short running game from your quarterback, Andrew Hellriegel. Last week he had 5 touchdowns from inside the 5.
Yeah, I'm surprised Mr. Smith didn't tap him on the shoulder and say, look, dude, I've done all the work and you're getting all the touchdowns. But this team is very close. They don't carry about – there's no egos on this team. But Hellriegel, talking to the coaches tonight before the game, I told one of the coaches, we have still not seen the best of Hellriegel. I think there is a lot to see from this young man yet, especially in the passing game. And when that gets going, watch out.
Andrew has thrown, he's 33 for 50 for 332 yards. He's averaging just over 6.6 yards per throw. And 3 TDs, no interceptions. Your Lions come into the game averaging 30.6 per game. They allow 13 points per game. It is going to be, and like you hit on it just a few minutes ago, Scott, these two teams, it doesn't matter what the sport is, it's always an extremely competitive game, can be physical. You expect it to be physical on the football field, but on the basketball court it's physical. That's just the rivalry between these two teams.
Yeah, and they always seem to match up very well in all the sports. I think this will be the most physical game Carterville's played this year, other than maybe Heron, which was very physical. But I think Carterville's going to have to watch out for Jonathan Hamilton, the 5'9", 170-pound senior running back. The coaches from Carterville told me tonight he's the best running back they've seen to this point, and that's including the Clemens kid from Murfreesboro, so that's high praise.
That is saying a lot right there, but you got to give it to the defensive side of the line for the Lions. Last week, they were able to get into the backfield, into those running lanes, break down that play before it could even get started.
They've done that all year. They're so much fun to watch because they destroy plays before they can even get going. One of the coaches told me tonight, last week, several of the defensive linemen came over and said, hey, this is what Murfreesboro's doing. Here's what I think we can do to negate that. The coach said, okay, go ahead and do it, because that's how much trust the coaching staff has in the players and the players have in the coaching staff.
That's what senior leadership will do for you.
Exactly.
That is important, and you got to give credit to the offensive and defensive lines for the success of this Carterville Lions team. There's a nice crowd here at Van Meter Field tonight. Again, beautiful turf. And the band, along with all the little cheerleaders out there, as we're just about 6 minutes or so from kickoff here at Van Meter Field. We're going to go on and take another break here on our McDonald's pregame report, and we'll be back here in 90 seconds on News Radio WJPF.
When you bank with Banterra, you'll benefit from a bank that offers convenience and exceptional service. I'm Jeff Speed, Market Executive for Banterra, and we want to be your financial partner. We offer personal service combined with superior products such as digital banking, smart checking options, and competitive lending rates. Banterra is the region's largest locally owned community bank with 25 Southern Illinois branches to serve you. Banterra Bank, proud supporter of high school sports. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
From faxing to notarizing, the UPS store is everything for your small business. And when it comes to protecting your confidential information...
Hey, everybody online, good evening to you. Hope you're having a great night. Thank you for watching. I'll tell you, if you would, please subscribe to this channel. Makes things
so I can do less worrying.
The UPS store.
To get things set up with YouTube.
And, of course, shipping.
And we appreciate
Trading
it.
services are provided by Iron Mountain Information Management LLC. UPS store franchise locations are independently owned. Visit the upsstore.com/shredding for details.
Hey, quick, tell me the greatest thing about Polar Whip, Energy's Finest Restaurant. You're probably going to say the low prices. You're probably going to say double cheeseburger. You're probably going to say maybe the fried pickles or the corn nuggets or the barbecues or the chili. Well, how about this? My favorite thing is the car hop. Yeah, the car hop. You pull into Polar Whip, boom, and they just magically appear. You give them your order, and then in just a few minutes, you have your delicious meal from Polar Whip. And you save money, too. It's the car hop, Polar Whip.
Your McDonald's pregame show continues here on News Radio WJPF. Scott, a lot of good games around Southern Illinois. Now let's run through a list of them, and we'll update these at halftime, and then as we go through the second half. Nashville at Anna Jonesboro tonight as we get into conference play.
AJ with a surprising win at Massac last week. I was surprised by that score. Nashville, their 2 wins have been against smaller schools, so maybe AJ with a little momentum going into that game tonight.
Centralia is at Carbondale tonight. Cahokia is at Marion. Marion trying to bounce back from their first loss of the season.
If I'm Cahokia, I'm getting Marion at the wrong time.
I agree. Sparta at Chester. Big matchup tonight in Benton, and you know it's the first home game of the season for the Rangers.
Yeah, they've been on the road 3 weeks. The only loss, week 1 at Carterville, so they're 2-1, looking to go to 3-1.
That's Heron at Benton. Vienna and El Dorado square off tonight. Johnston City at Hamco. Johnston City is the real deal.
They are, and they've got a match up with Carmi, I think, in 2 weeks, but they get what appears to be a very easy win tonight at Hamco.
Edwards County is at Cesar-Valere. Cesar-Valere trying to rebound from a big loss last week.
And Edwards County, I believe, hasn't won a game, so Cesar-Valere should win.
CZR is on the road at Carmi-White County. Altoff is out Mount Vernon. Is Mount Vernon the real deal?
We'll find out tonight. Altoff's not the Altoff they used to be, but they're still a pretty good club. But this would be a big win for Mount Vernon.
And then Murfreesboro hits the road again this week as they travel down to Metropolis to take on Massac County. That's a big game.
It is for both teams. Massac County, I don't think they expected to lose to AJ last week. They can throw the ball, so let's see if that gives Murfreesboro fits.
4 games on the schedule for your Saturday. All of them, except for one, a 2 o'clock start. Excuse me, all of them are a 1 o'clock start except for one. Which is 2 o'clock. Flora at Fairfield, Madison at Granite City. And I always keep track of that Madison score because Carterville's going to be playing at Madison in a few weeks.
Yes, they will. I think last week Madison beat DuPo, so that gives them a win, which means you say, well, why does that matter? Because that's a playoff point Carterville gets.
Absolutely.
That could be crucial at the end of the season.
Harrisburg is on the road at West Frankfort this evening, tomorrow, and Pinckneyville is going to be playing Oblong tomorrow afternoon. I do believe that is the 2 o'clock start. We're still waiting on both teams to make their way from the locker room after their final conversations with the head coach. And the cheerleaders here at DuQuoin are lined up off the end of the band. And here come the Indians onto the field here on their brand new turf as the DuQuoin Indian fans stand and welcome their Indians. I used to live here and was a big Indians fan for all, 80s into the early 90s. Yeah. Saw Nick Hill, Jason Carnes, names like Tris Greenwood. It was a lot of fun back to be an Indian fan.
You were part of the tradition at DuQuoin back in their heyday. And they've been good for many years, not just in that decade, but they've been very good. And, sometimes schools go in cycles as far as athletes and how good they are. But this is a very, very big game for DuQuoin tonight. I look for them to come out fast, and Carterville's going to have to match that right off the bat.
I would agree, and your Carterville Lions just took the field here at Van Meter Field, and as they always do, they have the Lions flag, they have the American flag, and they have the blue stripe flag out there with them here at Van Meter Field. We are just a couple of minutes away from the kickoff here in DuQuoin, and this is the first conference game, river-to-river conference game of the season. And we are excited to bring you Carterville Lions football here this evening. We're going to go on and take our final break here on our McDonald's pregame show. When we come back, kickoff is next. Carterville Lions football on News Radio WJPF.
Dr. Childers and his team have been creating smiles across Southern Illinois for over 30 years. Dr. Childers is dedicated to being gentle, compassionate,
taking program out so I can hear the anthem.
He is also the #1 Invisalign provider in Southern Illinois. Dr. Childers offers free consultations at all 3 of his locations, Heron, Benton, and Harrisburg. Check out his website at childersbraces.com for more information. Dr. Childers will help you achieve the smile you've always wanted.
At the Bank of Heron, we know that between family and work, it can be a challenge to find the time to take care of things like going to the bank. And really, what you need is a way to do your banking on the go. Well, we've got good news. With the Bank of Heron mobile banking app, you can manage debit cards, find bank locations, monitor account activity, even make a deposit. Just a few of the ways our mobile bank.
Low prices. Ron Ward Chevrolet. You're listening to News Radio WJPF Heron, 1340 AM and 99.5 FM, and WCIL Carbondale, 1020 AM and 107.9 FM. Proud member of River Radio, a division of Max Media.
Happy Friday, everybody, and welcome to Carterville Lions football on News Radio WJPF. I'm Dave McKenzie, Scott Hudson alongside Brian R. Powell, our producer engineer, back at the studio, and a beautiful night for football in Southern Illinois.
It is. It's going to be warm this coming week, but it's not that bad right now. Cooler weather on the way, but for, middle of September, this is perfect weather. DuQuoin won the coin toss. They deferred to the second half. So Carterville's offense, which was very good last week with over 400 total yards, will get the ball first.
And if I'm a Carterville fan, I like that.
Yeah, I guess maybe I'm in the minority on this, but there are a lot of times where you'll see a coin flip, and the team defers to the second half. If I have a chance, especially in a game that might be tight, if I have a chance to get the ball first, I want it first so I can go down and score possibly and make the other team play from behind. But Carterville's going to get the ball, and we'll see what they can do against this DuQuoin defense.
There is one injury that we want to report for tonight. Coming into the game, we have a brand-new center, and he's a freshman. Wears number 6. It's Jackson Smith, and he is replacing his brother Jaden Smith. And my gosh, Jackson is a big boy.
If you've never seen Jackson, don't feel bad because we hadn't seen him until tonight. He is a clone of Charlie Howerton, who is still recovering from off-season knee surgery. But he is a big, big boy for a freshman, and I'm sure he's had some sleepless nights thinking about his first varsity start here at DuQuoin tonight.
Here we go. The Indians have it teed up at the 40, back deep for the Lions. It is Nick Bishing and Braden Wakey. And we appreciate you tuning in on News Radio WJPF as the ball is away, and it is going to be Bishing that takes it at the 10, brings it out across the 20 to the 25 to the 27-yard line, and that is where your Carterville Lions are going to start here in the first quarter at Van Meter Field.
I think one thing that the freshman center is going to have to really do well tonight is get the snaps back to Hellriegel. Remember the first game of the season, he wasn't the center, but Carterville really had trouble getting the snaps back to Hellriegel. That's probably going to be the biggest concern for Coach Dial coming into this game with the freshman center.
Here comes the senior quarterback, Andrew Hellriegel, and his troops with his freshman center, Jackson Smith, on his first varsity snap for the Lions. Has two receivers to the right. It's the snap and the give to Bryce Smith as he gets out across the 40, the 45, the 50, to the 45 of DuQuoin, and finally wrapped up and stopped, and they finally throw him to the turf. And man, the first play from the Carterville Lions, a chunk run from Bryce Smith.
And it always starts up front. The left side of the offensive line just opened up a massive hole to the far side. Smith takes it to the 39 of DuQuoin on the first play from scrimmage.
That was an outstanding run for Bryce Smith, who comes in averaging over 8 yards per carry. Hellriegel has trips to the right now, looks and gives it to Smith off the left side, out across the 30, and he's probably got another first down on another 10-yard carry by Bryce Smith.
He's been the workhorse, and of course, you look at that offensive line, they are so big. But not only are they big, Dave, I don't think they get enough credit for their quickness as well, because sometimes you've got to get out on blockers, and I think Carterville's offensive line does a very good job of that.
At the DuQuoin 28-yard line, Hellriegel takes the snap, screen pass right side to Peyton Biddle, gets a block, cuts it up inside the 25 to the 20 to about the 18-yard line, and that is going to be about a half yard short of a first down for the Lions.
Almost 3 plays and 3 first downs. But it's going to be less than a yard short. And now on second and less than a yard, this is where you can get a little bit creative if you're Carterville's offense.
At the 19-yard line. Ball just off the near hash. Has 2 running backs in the backfield, 2 receivers to the right. Hellriegel takes a snap, ball's bobbled. He gets it right back. Nice recovery and a loss of about 4 on that. The ball, I don't know if it hit off his hand and popped out or if it hit off a helmet on the running back to his right.
Yeah, it wasn't a great snap, and that's one thing we just mentioned coming into the game with a freshman center who's playing varsity for the first time. But give Hellriegel credit. He stayed with it. He got the ball, didn't gain any yards, lost yards, but still Carterville's in good position.
Carterville's facing their first third down. It is 3rd and 5 from the DuQuoin 23. Hellriegel, screen pass left side, gets it out to Berkey. He's wrapped up and is going to be short of the first down. So what started as a great drive, chunk yardage, and 3 first downs in a row, Carterville now facing a 4th down.
And that's a tough play to have success on sometimes because you're throwing from the near hash past the far hash mark, and that's a ball in the air a long time. It allows the defensive back to maybe get around the wide receiver that's blocking.
Officially 4th and 4 from the DuQuoin 22. Hellriegel has 1 receiver right, 1 to the left, takes the snap, gives it to Bryce Smith, follows his lineman, has the first down and more across the 15, inside the 15 to the 12, and Carterville picks up another first down and keeps the drive alive.
Smith is so good at following his blockers. He never makes a move too soon. He never makes a cut too late. He's always right on time with when he needs to make that move to the inside or outside.
9:44 on the clock. This is the 7th play of the drive from the 13 of DuQuoin. Ball on the near hash. Hellriegel from the shotgun, and a whistle, and it's probably a motion on the Lions.
It's either on Cordis or Hartford. One of them moved forward before the ball was snapped. So let's hope Carterville doesn't, beat themselves on what has been an impressive drive to this point.
So it's going to be 1st and 15, the ball at the 18-yard line. They'll line it back up again near hash. 1 receiver left, 1 to the right. Hellriegel takes the snap, hands it to Smith. Smith puts his head down, flag comes flying in, and it gets to about the 12-yard line. Let's see what the call is on the flag.
I'm going to guess holding, and if that is on Carterville, they've already had more penalties in the first 2 minutes and some change than they had the entire game against Murfreesboro.
That'll push them back 10 more yards. 9:19 on the clock. And we got a DuQuoin Indian that is down with an injury. We're going to go on and take a quick break, 30-second break here. Lions are driving here from Van Meter Field on News Radio WJPF.
You don't have to be told the price of power is way up and winter's on the way. Firemasters in Carterville has help, a solution, a beautiful, effective, warm, wood-burning stove or vent. Carterville.
This Lions broadcast is brought to you by Charlie's Air Conditioning and Heating in beautiful downtown Carterville. They have punctual service, 5-star satisfaction, and the experience that comes from 40 years in the business. Find out more. Just go online. Visit charliesairandheat.com. As the DuQuoin Indian player continues to lay at the 9-yard line, now he gets up and starts making his way to the near sideline. And what's the number on that, Scott?
I believe that is number 44.
That is Cameron Ford.
And he's one of their running backs, star running backs, and linebacker. So that's a big loss for them if he's out for any extended period of time.
He comes to the sideline under his own power, doesn't require any assistance. Carterville Lions are facing a long way, a 1st and 25 after back-to-back penalties. Ball is at the 28-yard line. Hellriegel, 2 receivers right. He gives it to his running back. That's Nolan Hartford. He's got a blocker out in front of him. That was Zach Miller. Hartford fights his way for about 7, maybe 8 yards. But when you get Zach Miller out there on the lead, you can pick up some yardage.
Well, Zach isn't the biggest offensive lineman, but he's very, very quick, and he got out there quickly to provide the block for Smith.
So it's 2nd down and 17 officially. Ball rest at the 20-yard line. This is the 10th play of this drive for your Carterville Lions. It's on the far hash. Hellriegel works from the shotgun. Has 2 receivers right, 2 to the left. Thought about the screen pass. Oh, they got Peyton Biddle wide open. Touchdown! Pump fake by Andrew Hellriegel. Open it up. Peyton Biddle with the 20-yard reception, and your Carterville Lions lead it 6-0.
All season long when Hellriegel's looked to the sideline, it's been that quick throw, And that's what DuQuoin was expecting, but a great pump fake by Hellriegel to get the defensive backs to just stop, and that allowed Biddle to run right by them into the end zone for the touchdown.
Andrew Hellriegel teams up with Peyton Biddle. And Carterville leads it 6-0. And coming in for the kick, Riley Crane. And a flag, and that's going to move the ball up. I think every single game the opponent has jumped on an extra point. Last week, Carterville did not go for two. They were content to kick the extra point. This time, they're bringing their offense back onto the field.
How many times in these first 3 weeks has Carterville on an extra point attempt gotten the defense to jump off sides?
Absolutely.
And then they bring their offense back in.
Lions lead it 6-0 at the 9:02 mark. They're going to go for two here. Hellriegel takes the snap. He's going to follow big Bryce Smith right up into the end zone for the extra point. The 2-point conversion is good, and your Carterville Lions lead it 8-0. Stay with us. This is Lions football on News Radio WJPF.
Don't let the name fool you. The International Brother.
Carterville Lions lead this game 8-0. A 10-play drive that started at their own 22-yard line, and it was a 20-yard pass from Andrew Hellriegel to Peyton Biddle. DuQuoin is getting ready to get the ball for the first time as Carterville scores on their first possession. Riley Crane has it teed at the 40. And the kick is right down the middle. It's taken over on the far hash at about the 15-yard line. They tried to hand it off. The ball's on the turf. Did Carterville get it back? We've got players right there. And Carterville says they've got it.
They didn't get it. They said DuQuoin got it. That was almost a disaster for the Indians. They tried to reverse, and it looked like the two players were too close together, and they hit each other, and the ball fell out on the turf. And they are very, very lucky to get that ball back.
Yes, they are. 1st and 10 from the Indian 23-yard line on a beautiful night in Southern Illinois. It is just gorgeous here. So here come the Indians and their quarterback, Camden Waller. Camden wears number 6, has a running back behind him, gives it to his running back, and he falls forward for about a yard. It's going to bring up 2nd and long now for the Indians.
Talon Walker, Jordan Cordes, and Eli Mooring in on the tackle for the Lions. Eli Mooring leads the Lions in tackles this year with 30 and 2 forced fumbles.
Jonathan Hamilton is the running back. DuQuoin has 2 receivers to the left. And he looks to throw out to the right side. It's caught on the far side. It's going to be short of a first down before being spun down out there on the reception. It was Jace Colvin on the pass from Cam Waller.
Good job by the defensive back, Nolan Hartford, to not let him get down the sideline. It was just him and the receiver. If he gets by Hartford, he might still be running.
It is going to be 3rd and 5 now for the Indians. The ball at their own 24-yard line.
Taking a lot of time in the huddle.
29-yard line. And they call a timeout with 7:40 as they're facing a 3rd down and 5. We're going to go on and take a 30-second break as well. Carterville leads this game 8-0 at Van Meter Field on News Radio WJPF.
When you go mobile with First Mid, download the First Mid mobile bank.
The DuQuoin Indians face a 3rd and 5 from their own 29-yard line. Here early in the game, an early timeout. And the snap is high, but they look to throw it out to the left side. It's caught there by the receiver and carried out to the 31-yard line. That's going to be enough for a first down for the Indians.
Nice throw by the quarterback. Wakey, the defensive back, just couldn't get over there in time to keep him from getting to the first down marker.
As they get it out to the 35-yard line. That ball is on the near hash. Hamilton is the running back behind Cam Waller. Waller, the junior quarterback, takes the snap, gives it to Hamilton. Hamilton dances his way through the line, carries it out to about the the DuQuoin 45. It's going to be about a yard short of the first down.
Yeah, good run by Hamilton on first down, right up the middle. You could see he's kind of like a scat back. He's got those legs working the whole time, and he's got DuQuoin up to about the 45-yard line.
So it's 2nd and 2 now from their own 43-yard line. Right in front of us here at Van Meter Field. They put a man in motion. It's the pitch back in the reverse to P.J. Winters. He has the first down as he brings it to the near sideline, and he's finally brought down in Carterville territory at about the 47-yard line.
Yeah, quick pitch to the running back. Comes to the left and was able to pick up good yards, and they are in Carterville territory at the Lions 48.
That's the second first down for the Indians as the ball is at the Lions 48-yard line. Carterville leads it 8-0 from the Carterville 48. Waller takes the snap. He's going to keep it. He gave it to Hamilton. Hamilton, nice fake there, as he was able to fall forward for about 3 yards, bringing up 2nd down and 7 for DuQuoin.
Yeah, he does that ball fake, carries that ball fake out very well, and I'm sure the coaching staff of DuQuoin is going to notice that there was nobody on this side for Carterville in containment, and that play might be big for DuQuoin at some point.
DuQuoin coaches think this Hamilton may be one of the best running backs in the area. Some good carries here early as Waller throws it out left side. It's caught just short of the 40, across the 40 to the 37-yard line, and on the reception, it is Gage Green for the Indians.
Yeah, just a simple pass, a very high percentage pass to the outside. Let the wide receiver kind of try to make a play in the open field.
3rd and 1 from the Carterville 39-yard line. Carterville needs a stop here. So they're giving up some yardage that we haven't seen much this season. 5:05 on the first quarter clock. Carterville leads it 8-0. Waller tries to get somebody to snap, but they got back and got set. It's Hamilton out across the 40 to the 35, trying to find his way to the 30 when he's wrestled out of bounds, and a flag comes in from the far sideline. They're going to say that's roughing, and it was not.
He was still in bounds when he got hit by both Carterville players.
That is crazy.
Now, he took one heck of a tumble once he got out of bounds, but that was not a hit after the play.
And he popped right to his feet.
That is no.
Yeah, I'm sure he's hearing about that on the far sideline.
I think they may have. Yeah, they call it horse collar. So that makes more sense because it was not a late hit. So it's a horse collar. So Carterville's been penalized 3 times already in this first quarter. That's not like them in these last couple of games.
Last week, as we mentioned, I believe I can only remember 1 penalty in that game on the Lions. They have 3 here so far. So it is 1st and 10 for the Indians from the Carterville 17-yard line. Ball gets away from the quarterback, Waller. And
you can't throw a flag on that. You cannot throw a flag on that. Oh, Waller. My. Look at the Carterville coaching staff. The quarterback went back and got the ball and kind of went to a knee, but you cannot call that because that's just a bad call. That is a bad call. Unbelievable.
So the snap was over Waller's head. They're going to say it was roughing.
Wow.
On the Lions. Waller went back to it, and like Scott said, kind of wound up at a knee, and just as he put the knee down, the Carterville player came in.
When you have defensive players bearing down on a player, and all of a sudden he drops to a knee, they can't just magically stop.
So it's 1st and 9 from the 16-yard line. Ball is at the far hash. Jonathan Hamilton is the running back. They have a receiver right, a receiver left. Waller gives it to Hamilton. He falls forward, and another flag comes in at the 15-yard line.
Well, are we going to have a repeat of the Heron-Carterville game where it was nothing but flag night?
The Hankies definitely went in the washing machine after that game.
Oh, man.
And it's going to be against the Indians as they're marking off.
It's going to have holding.
They put the ball right at the 26-yard line.
And this has been the area of the field in the first 3 weeks of the season where DuQuoin has really just hurt themselves. And that was a big holding call against the Indians.
It's 1st and 19 from the 26. There's 4:30 remaining in the opening quarter. One receiver left, one receiver right. Waller throws it deep down the left side. Receiver's wide open in his hands, and it is a touchdown. As on the reception, it was Gage Green on a 26-yard touchdown catch from Cam Waller.
Well, the wide receiver beat Wakey by about a couple of steps. And a well-thrown ball by the quarterback. And let's see if DuQuoin goes for 2 to try to tie the game.
At the 4:23 mark of the first quarter, a nice pass as it was Gage Green that got open, beat the defender, and the pass was right in stride, and he has the 26-yard touchdown pass. DuQuoin will go for 2. They spread 2 receivers left, one to the right. Hamilton, the running back. Waller, the quarterback, takes the snap, looks to throw, has some pressure, rolls right. Carterville's got pressure on him. He finally just throws it away, and the 2-point conversion is no good. And Carterville leads this game 8-7 with 4:23 remaining in the first quarter. We'll be back in 60 seconds. It's Lions football on News Radio WJPF.
Rob Pit Barbecue, mouth-watering, award-winning barbecue. Pulled pork. Visit their website at clark-trans.com. It's time to upcycle your career with Clark Transportation Services.
The kickoff goes to Bishing, and he breaks free down the far sideline into DuQuoin territory all the way to the Indian 17-yard line. And how about that run back from Nick Bishing for the Lions?
Oh, great job. He corralled it at about the 10, 15-yard line, then went to the far sideline. I thought he was going to go all the way, but give DuQuoin's defenders credit for tracking him down at the 17. But, boy, you talk about a momentum changer. That's what happened there.
What a boost that can give to the Carterville sideline. Here comes Andrew Hellriegel. Lions lead it by 1. It's 8-7. 2 receivers to the right side. As Bryce Smith in the backfield, he takes the handoff off the left side into about the 10-yard line. Gain of 6, and it's going to bring up a 2nd down and 4 for Carterville.
Well, just give it to Smith. Let him go run behind his blockers, and everything should be fine.
8-6 is the score. I said 8-7 moments ago, but it's 8-6. Carterville looking at 2nd and 4. The ball at the Indian 11. Hellriegel from the shotgun. Ball's on the turf, picks it up, just covers it up. It stays on the turf. He never did get a hold of it. Unfortunately, I think it's Bryce Smith that was able to fall on the ball. And, man, Carterville caught a break there.
Well, they did, and give Smith credit for being aware to turn around and look before he just continued with his play up through the line of scrimmage. That did not look like a bad snap. It just looked like Hellriegel didn't corral it.
3rd and 11 now from the 18. The Lions have lost 7 yards on that play. Receiver right, receiver left. Hellriegel looks to throw, throws it right side. It's caught by, that is Nolan Hartford on the carry. A horse collar is going to be called on the Indians as he got spun around. The defender just reached in and grabbed the inside of the shoulder pads right on the neck, spun him around a little bit.
Yeah, that was an easy call, at least for us over here, because it was right in front of us. So they'll probably mark that off half the distance to the goal.
The ball is at the 11-yard line. So they'll mark that off. This Lions broadcast is brought to you by Stephen Rich's Barber Styling, a full-service salon on Division Street in Carterville, open Tuesday through Friday from 8 until 5, Saturday from 8 until 2. As they mark it down and put the ball down just short of the 5-yard line. So that's a big first down. Carterville's got 1st and goal from the 5 officially. 1st and goal from the 5. Ball on the near hash, trips to the left side. Hellriegel throws it left side. It's caught out there by Peyton Biddle, and he's quickly surrounded by 3 DuQuoin Indians. Nice coverage, and it's going to be actually a loss of about 1.5 yards, maybe 2 yards on that.
Yeah, Biddle had nowhere to go. He had 2, maybe 3 defenders out there waiting for him, and Biddle's quick, but he's not quick enough to get through 3 defenders that's standing right there waiting for him.
Clock rolls to 2.5 minutes remaining in the opening quarter. Carterville has trips to the right, 2nd and 3, and it is the give to Smith. Smith fights his way toward the pylon. I don't know if he got there, and they're going to say he was short. It's going to be a little bit short of the goal line. So now Carterville's looking at a 3rd down. They bring in the heavy package.
What, they told us to come in?
Yeah, you got the signal. You missed it.
I did.
Ball's at the 1-yard line. It's 3rd and goal from the 1. 3rd and goal from the 1 for the Lions. Trying to extend this 2-point lead. It's 8-6. Hellriegel gives it to his running back. That's Smith. Bryce Smith gets the 1-yard carry. Bryce Smith gets the touchdown. And the Carterville Lions lead it 14-6.
Bryce Smith says, yes, I finally get rewarded for all my hard work. I think in the formation they were lined up in, I think everybody, including DuQuoin, thought Hellriegel was just going to follow his 2 blockers and go the end zone. But a quick handoff to Smith. He went behind that right side of that big offensive line and got the touchdown.
Carterville sets up for the extra point. Brandon Skelcher does the holding. And it's Riley Crane. Riley, the right footer, is set. Here's the snap, the hold, and the block was kicked. Or the kick was blocked. I'll get it right. And so Carterville maintains the 14-6 lead. Stay with us. We'll be back in 30 seconds. This is News Radio WJPF.
Rain or shine, sleet or snow, call Joe. Joe's Lawn Service, Carterville, is a locally owned and operated business serving Southern Illinois for over 20 years, specializing in much more than commercial or residential lawn care. Joseph McMahon and his crew can do snow removal, bush hogging, tree trimming, or tree removal, landscaping maintenance, and much more. Call 534-8148. Rain or shine, sleet or snow, call Joe. 534-8148. That's 534-8148.
Welcome back to Van Meter Field. Dave McKenzie and Scott Hudson with you.
A couple of scores have passed along. Well, Murfreesboro, they weren't happy about what happened last week. 5:06 left in the first quarter. They already lead Massac 31-0. 11:06 to go in the second quarter. Benton leads Heron 14-0.
There you go.
And Centralia leads Carbondale 7-0 after 1.
14-6 is the score here Lions have the lead, and they're kicking away. As the ball from the 40, it's a squib kick on the ground. It's taken at the 32-yard line by the up back, and he makes a move at the 35. Finally corralled and brought down at the 37. Almost could have just slipped away, as it was Demarion Johnson on the return for the Indians.
Carterville had a heat-seeking missile coming at him, and I thought, man, if that Carterville defender, who I don't know, I'm not sure who that was, if he hits him, you know, that's going to be one of those decleaters. But he didn't get him, and as you said, he almost got to the outside and turned it upfield.
Indians, with their second possession of the game, they scored on a 26-yard pass from Waller to Green. That was at the 4:23 mark. They put the receiver in motion, but it's the pitch, and he's out across midfield for first down, and on the carry, P.J. Winters for the Indians.
Just a quick pitch to the outside, and then he cut it back inside, and there were no linebackers there to support, and he picked up a big first down. They're already in Carterville territory.
P.J. Winters, a 5'9" junior for the Indians. Well, he's about 145. Clock rolls under 2 to play, about 140 remaining. Lions are up 14-6. Ball from the far hash. Cam Waller from the shotgun. High snap, gives it to his running back, Hamilton, and he's brought down from behind after a gain of about 3 on that carry, bringing up a second down and long for the Indians.
Well, DuQuoin's offensive line is bigger than Murfreesboro's offensive line. You had more of a finesse line with Murfreesboro. DuQuoin, they're just big and physical, and Carterville's going to have to match that physicality here tonight.
Officially second down and 6.
Speaking of Murfreesboro, they're up 38-0 now, still in the first.
Ball's at the 45 of Carterville. Waller looks to throw. Throws it across the middle. Ball's tipped up in the air, falls incomplete. It was intended for, I believe that was intended for Demarion Johnson.
And I think that was Wakey with a good coverage as he stuck that big arm in there and knocked the ball away.
Gage Green was the intended receiver for the Indians. Third down and 6 from the 45-yard line. 51 seconds showing on the clock. If you're looking out here at Van Meter Field, brand new turf, the word Indians inscribed in the turf between the hashes. The snap's taken by Waller, throws it, gets it to Gage Green, and Gage has enough for an Indians first down. That'll move the change.
Now Bishing, who just came into the game for Carterville defensively, made the stop, but again, a high percentage pass. Just get it out to an open area and let the receiver try to go one-on-one.
They mark it down at the 38-yard line on the near hash. 36, 35, 34 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Indians break the huddle. Ball from the near hash. One receiver left, one to the right. Hamilton, the running back. Waller takes the snap, gives it to Hamilton. Hamilton cuts it up off right tackle, falls forward inside the 30 to about the 29-yard line. It's going to be about a half a yard short of a first down.
Yeah, they are really just doing a great job of blowing Carterville's defensive linemen off the ball.
That's going to be the end of the first quarter as the Indians are driving. Carterville leads the game, though. It's 14-6 as we are heading to second quarter. We will be back in 60 seconds. This is your home for Lions Sports on News Radio WJPF.
Do you have a check that needs deposit?
Hey, everybody online. Thanks for watching. This Lions broadcast is brought to you by IBEW Local 702, where they are a proud supporter of Carterville Lions sports. IBEW Local 702, dedicated to providing a better lifestyle for members, better life for all. Indians have the ball. It is at the Carterville 29-yard line. They trail 14-6 as we start playing the second. Waller drops back, has pressure, finally brought down, and that's Jordan Cordes that got that big paw on the quarterback and flung him to the turf.
Well, he got to the outside of the defense or the offensive lineman, and then he used his speed and strength to get to the quarterback, and that was a big sack for the Lions. And Cordes, he's just a man. I mean, he is so strong, you cannot really block him one-on-one.
So it went from a 2nd and 1 to a 3rd and 10, and now the ball back at the Carterville 38-yard line. A loss of 9 on that sack by Jordan Cordes. Waller takes the snap, rolls to his right, wants to throw, pump fakes one, throws it across the middle, overshoots the receiver. And the intended receiver was P.J. Winters, and a flag comes in, and that's going to be on Peyton Biddle.
Yeah, he ran into the back of the receiver, and it's unfortunate because that ball was going to be incomplete. He was not going to catch the ball, but the penalty, which I think is the 4th already in this first half on Carterville, is going to give DuQuoin a first down.
It's a 15-yard penalty. So now it's 1st and 10. Ball is at the Carterville 22-yard line.
Carterville had him right where they wanted him. It was going to be 4th and long. I'm sure DuQuoin would have gone for it, but then you put them into an obvious passing situation. Now you don't know what's coming.
Waller takes the high snap, gives it to his running back Hamilton, and he's brought down right there, and Jordan Cordes was the defender that wrapped up the ankles and brought him to the turf.
That's how you make a tackle. You tackle around the knee and ankle area. Don't try to hit somebody up high where they might be able to slide off of you. Just hit them in the legs, bring them down. That's what Cordes did.
Jonathan Hamilton got back to the line. They're actually going to say it was a loss of 1, so it's 2nd and 11 from the 23-yard line. Carterville's defense needs a stop. Carterville leads it 14-6. We're in the second quarter. Waller has 3 receivers right side, throws it out left side, and it was off the fingertips of his receiver that was by himself out on that left side and falls incomplete for the Indians, bringing up 3rd and 11.
Yeah, if he catches that ball, it's probably 3rd and about 4 or 5, but it just went right through his hands. And now another big play for Carterville's defense and DuQuoin's offense.
From the 23. From the 23, it is 3rd and 11. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Waller rolls right, feels some pressure, cuts it up inside, gets rid of it, finds the receiver at the 20. It's going to be short of the first down as they're going to mark the ball at the 21-yard line, and DuQuoin now is facing a 4th down.
Good play by Hart for the defensive back. Came up, made the stop before the receiver could turn and go upfield.
4th and 9 from the Lions 21.
Speaking of 21, in the second quarter, AJ is trailing Nashville 21-0. That's a perfect segue, Dave.
You did good, man.
Keep it up.
Clock rolls under 10 minutes in the half. DuQuoin, a 4th and 9 from the 21. Waller throws a screen pass to Hamilton off his fingertips. Carterville, that is just about 2 yards short from being a lateral. The ball was alive, but it's ruled incomplete. And Carterville gets the ball back after change of possession.
Bryce Smith read that play perfectly. He was going to be out there to probably make the tackle, and he may have gained a yard or 2, but Bryce Smith read it perfectly. Still a ball that should have been caught. Carterville takes over on downs.
From their own 21-yard line. Coming up, we're going to have our SIU Credit Union halftime report. We'll break down all the scores from around Southern Illinois. Lions lead this one 14-6. Under 10 to play here in the half. Lions have the ball. Trip receivers to the right, 1 to the left in Berkey. Hellriegel takes the snap, gives it to his running back. That's Bryce Smith, and he lost yardage on that, and a nice job by that Indian defender coming in, and that was Cameron Ford that got the pop on Bryce Smith.
Yeah, Ford's a very good linebacker. He just shot the gap, and I think what DuQuoin figures they're going to have to do, we haven't been able to stop the run with our front four, so we're going to have to start blitzing some of our linebackers to try to keep Smith and this Carterville running game from running wild.
Loss of 2 on that. Fine defensive play by the Indians. 2nd and 12. Hellriegel looks to throw. Has some pressure. Can't escape. Ball comes out of his hand, and it is on the turf. I think Carterville got on it, but I don't think Andrew had quite got to the turf. He kind of rolled up over the defender, and the ball came loose, and that's going to be ruled a fumble. And it's back inside the 5 at about the 2-yard line.
Well, give Carterville's offensive line, I don't know who it was, one of those linemen, I think, came back and recovered that fumble. That was almost a disaster.
Andrew was being spun around to the turf, and the defender was on the ground, and he kind of rolled over the top of the defender when the ball popped out.
That's one of the few times this year that Hellriegel has not had any time
Yeah.
to throw the ball.
Great pressure from the Indians.
Well, there's a flag on the play.
Oh, maybe that explains why that defender got there.
Well,
I didn't even see the flag.
I didn't either. Yeah, there it is on by the far hash mark.
There you go. Maybe they jumped. Maybe it was an offside. Officials are taking their time. They pick up the flag, and it's a hold, defensive hold.
Boy.
What a break for the Lions on that. My gosh, that is huge. That's a 30-yard break for Carterville.
Yeah, that's what you say your prayers have been answered. That's going to be an automatic first down. I'm assuming that because it was a pass play that one of the DuQuoin defensive backs was holding one of the Carterville receivers. But that is a killer for DuQuoin. They had Carterville backed up to the 1 and on their heels.
So Carterville has it at their own 31-yard line. What a big break that is for Carterville. May be a memorable break when this game is all said and done. 8:55 in the first half. In the second quarter, it's Bryce Smith trying to get off right tackle. And now you can see DuQuoin's made some adjustments defensively, trying to get to Smith as he carries it to the outside.
Well, they got a lot more players at or near the line of scrimmage when Smith has the ball. And that's what they're going to have to do to shut down this Carterville running game and force Hellriegel to throw the ball.
2nd and 9 now. 1-yard gain on that carry by Bryce Smith. Ball is at the 32-yard line. Lions send 2 receivers left. Smith is the running back for the Lions. They're letting the play clock down to 6, to 5, to 4. May call timeout. They're still looking, and they do. Brett Dow calls timeout for the Lions. 8:05 remaining here in the second quarter. Lions lead it 14-6. We'll be back in 30 seconds on News Radio WJPF.
SIU Credit Union now offers interest with free checking with e-statements accounts. Sign up for free checking and start earning a dividend on balances over $1,000. You can open with just $25 and no monthly fees when you sign up for e-statement. Get access to over 85,000 free ATMs nationwide and earn valuable Buzz Points rewards anytime you use your SIU-CU debit card. Apply online at siucu.org. Membership required, insured by NCUA.
Coming up at halftime, we'll have our SIU Credit Union halftime report. We'll update scores from around Southern Illinois. Nashville leads Anna Jonesboro 28-0. Cahokia and Marion are tied 8-8. That game in the second quarter. And Benton leads Heron 14-0. That in the second quarter as well. 14-6 is our score here at Van Meter Field. Lions with it, 2nd and 9 from their own 32. And it's the inside handoff to Nolan Hartford. He's in across close to the 40-yard line, going to be about a yard short. But I like his Hartford comes in on the backside carry, and
I think it's the first time Cardinals run that play this year.
It's a Murfreesboro play.
Yes.
That's what we saw last year against Murphy.
And it worked, almost a first down. It's going to be 3rd and about 2 for Carterville at their own 39.
3rd and 2 is exactly what it is from the 39. Far hash is where the ball is setting. Hellriegel, he's going to keep it himself. Has the first down, gets blasted from behind, but driven into the turf. But that's a big first down for the Lions. Keeps the drive alive here with 7:26 on the clock.
Yeah, better yet, he held on to the ball because he got hit from behind, like you said. And sometimes that's when the ball can come popping out.
1st and 10 at the 44-yard line of the Lions. Hellriegel sends Berkey to the right side. Jordan Cordes in the slot for the Lions. Put him in motion. Hellriegel, swing pass out to Berkey. He catches it and picks up 2, maybe 3 yards as Cordes got out there and set the block, set the edge. And a short gain. It's going to be a 2-yard gain. Now they move it out one more. It's going to be a 3-yard gain, bringing it up 2nd and 7 now for the Lions.
Well, a good thing Cordes got out there when he did, because that defensive back read the play, was going to try to jump it and have a pick 6, but Cordes got just enough of the defensive back to keep that from happening.
This is going to be the 8th play of the drive for the Lions that started back at their own 21. Caught a big break on a play earlier as it's the handoff now to Bryce Smith, and he's wrapped up after a gain of 2. And the Lions now are looking at 3rd and 5 from their own 45-yard line. Man, I've got to really, you got to give DuQuoin Indians credit. They have kind of figured out the Bryce Smith running game.
Well, they didn't wait till the halftime to make their adjustments. They made the adjustments here in the second quarter, because look at what Smith and Carterville's doing in that first quarter. They were running all over them, and they've made some necessary adjustments.
Now it's 3rd and 6 from the 48. Hellriegel's going to keep it off right tackle, as depends on the mark. It's less than a yard. Carterville is going to be looking at 4th and 1.
Late in the second, Centralia leads Carbondale 13-7.
They're going to call timeout and measure, because it is really close. We'll see what they say, but let's update some scores from around Southern Illinois. See if we can get some updated scores for you. El Dorado leads Vienna 28-8. No score from Johnston City Hamco being reported. 41-8. Carmi White County over CZR as the measurements taking place, and it is 4th down, and it wasn't by much. I mean, a couple of inches there. So Carterville is looking at a 4th and less than a ruler. 5:26 remaining in this second quarter. In the backfield, it's Bryce Smith. Andrew Hellriegel, the quarterback. Jordan Cordes is in there at fullback. They get DuQuoin to jump, and that's going to be an automatic first down. You like getting first downs like that if you're an offensive team.
Work smarter, not harder. That's what Carterville did.
Got 2 of the Indians to jump, and that's a gimme right there.
They've done it many, many times on point after attempts. Now they get a big one here to keep this drive going.
1st and 10 from the Indian 41-yard line. Hellriegel has a receiver left, a receiver right. Throws it right side, lobs it up, and the receiver gets tripped, but I think they just got their feet tangled up, as it was Blake Berkey, the intended receiver. He wound up falling down, so it's 2nd and 10 from the 41-yard line.
He had the defensive back beat.
Yes, he did.
But as you said, I don't know if the defender and Berkey got their feet tangled up, or he just, tripped on the turf, but it's going to be 2nd and 10.
Clock is stopped at 4:59. This is week 4 of the IHSA football season. Dandy ball game, 14-6. Lions lead it. Hellriegel gives it to Bryce Smith. He takes it to the far side, off right tackle, and he's wrapped up after a gain of 2. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 8 now from the 38, or excuse me, the 39 of the Indians.
Yeah, DuQuoin has done a very, very nice job of not letting Smith get loose here in the second quarter. That was their bread and butter in the first quarter, and Carterville's going to have to probably air it out a little bit more in this second quarter.
From the 39, 3rd and 8. 3 receivers left. Hellriegel takes the snap. Throws it across the middle, has his man. That's Nolan Hartford. 1st down and more, spins, gets away, brought down from behind, inside the 20. A big 1st down for the Carterville Lions.
Hartford with a nice spin move at about the 28-yard line. And then again, he got tackled from behind. Good job of hanging on to the ball. That's a big 1st down and keeps this Carterville drive going.
Clock continues to roll as well. It's 1st and 10 from the Indian 16. Quickly, the Lions line up, ready to go. Hellriegel wants to throw right, directs the receiver. The ball's thrown up, and it's caught at the 1-yard line. And on the reception, is that Jordan Cordes or is that Nolan Hartford?
That's Hartford.
Okay.
The defensive back for DuQuoin never turned his head, never turned around to find the ball, and that's one reason why that pass was complete. Hartford watched it all the way in. Nice catch down at the 1.
1st and goal from the 1 for the Lions. Trying to extend this lead. It's the give to Bryce Smith. Touchdown number 2 for Bryce Smith on the 1-yard carry.
Nice drive by Carterville. That, remember, Dave, was aided by that holding penalty. So this drive technically started at the 1, correct? Is this?
Yes.
So that big holding penalty cost DuQuoin points as Carterville puts together an impressive drive after getting the help from the holding penalty.
3:33 remaining in the half. Carterville leads it 20-6 and look to extend it here on the extra point from Riley Crane. The ball is going to be set down at the 10. Skelcher is the holder. It's the snap. The kick is good, and Carterville leads this ball game 21-6 after the 1-yard touchdown run from Carterville's Bryce Smith. Stay with us. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Lions football on News Radio WJPF.
To buy or sell a home, you have a number of realtors to choose from.
The Carterville Lions have opened the lead to 21-6 with 3:33 remaining in the first half. Your SIU Credit Union halftime report will be coming up in just a few minutes. Lots of scores already coming in, and we'll get those updated for you. Lions set to kick the ball away. Riley Crane. Carterville leading this game 21-6. 20-yard pass from Hellriegel to Peyton Biddle, a 26-yard pass from Waller to Green for the Indians, and the ball goes out of bounds. And so I believe it comes out to what, the 35? Is that correct?
20. Let's see. We've had this
conversation
in week 1 against
Name
Benton.
State the rule.
I'll wait till it spots it and I'll tell you.
That's cheating,
it looks like the 35.
It's 35. I said 25. So I was wrong. If only we would write down these rules.
Hey, you're not trying. You're not cheating if you're not trying, or whatever that saying is.
Well, you had it written on your leg there, like you used to do in high school. It's 1st and 10 from the 35. For the Indians. Cam Waller is the quarterback. Has Hamilton as running back. Has a receiver left and a receiver right. from the 35-yard line. Waller operates from the shotgun. Ball's on the turf. Hamilton couldn't come up with it. The Lions get the fumble, and a turnover is going to go Carterville's way after the handoff was just not clean between Cam Waller and Jonathan Hamilton.
And Jordan Cordes was the Lion that fell on it at the DuQuoin 29-yard line. So Carterville comes up with a big turnover. And let's not forget, Dave, in this first half, Carterville has had 2 fumbles that they have recovered themselves that were huge at the time, especially the one at the 1-yard line. So Carterville's avoided disaster.
Carterville, and they give it to Nolan Hartford. He's trying to take it right off guard, and he was wrapped up right there. Second down and probably a loss of 1 or 2. It's going to be a loss of 2.
Now Hartford,
second and 12.
Hartford ran into a brick wall.
From the 35-yard line. Carterville trying to extend this 21-6 lead. Quick throw and a whistle.
And I think
whoever the receiver was, I think, cut toward the line of scrimmage.
Whoever was going in motion cut up too quick. I think that may have been
Smith?
Berkey.
Might have been Berkey.
I think it was Berkey, who you can do that in the Canadian Football League, but you can't do that in high school football.
So it's going to be 2nd and 17 now. Ball set down at the 40-yard line. Carterville's going backwards on this.
Yeah, this would be tough if they don't come away with points on the turnover.
Trips to the right, 1 to the left. Hellriegel throws it across the middle, has the receiver.
That's got to be a flag.
It comes in late. Blake Berkey had his hands pulled down as he reached up. He had beaten the defender by about a step. It was their perfectly thrown ball from Andrew Hellriegel, and Carterville gets a big pass interference call and is going to have it.
Now, Hellriegel could not have thrown that ball any better, but there was a defender from DuQuoin that was on his back, on Berkey's back. Berkey, as soon as the play was over, he's looking around for the flag. He knew there should have been a flag. So it'll be marked off.
They're marking it off.
They'll mark it off from line. It's not like the NFL. They'll mark it off the line of scrimmage.
Right. It's a 15-yard penalty. It's a 15-yard penalty. They had to bring it back. You got to remember, Lions were looking at a 2nd and 17. So it's going to be short of a first down. It's going to bring up 2nd and 1 from the 25. Quick throw out to Peyton Middle. He has a first down. Tries to get it to the outside and is driven out of bounds. Carterville does pick up the first down and moves those chains.
Great catch by Biddle. That ball was thrown low. He had to pick it up off the turf, and then he was able to get about 4 or 5 yards after that.
Clock continues, or it's stopped right now at 2:23. It's 1st and 10 from the Indian 18-yard line. Carterville sends 2 receivers left side. That's Berkey and Hartford. Give it to Smith, though. He's going to try to cut it to the outside. Flag comes in, puts his head down, just keeps fighting his way close to a first down.
The flag is thrown right in the middle of 3 Carterville offensive linemen, and there's no DuQuoin players anywhere around it.
But it's going to be a hold against the Lions.
Well, the Indians did a very good job of getting out of the hold and getting downfield.
They're going to bring the ball back. So it's a hold against the Lions.
Murfreesboro leads Massac at half 45-8. I guess Murfreesboro is really, really good.
It's 1st and 10 now from the 27. Hellriegel drops back, throws it across the middle, has Berkey wide open. He's inside the 20 to about the 15 and down to the 13-yard line. It's going to be about 4 yards short of a first down.
I think Berkey was surprised at how wide open he was when he caught the ball. He looked around waiting to get hit. He's like, oh, man, I got some room. And so it's going to bring up about 2nd and maybe 4 after the penalty.
It is 2nd and 4.
Carterville still has 2 timeouts, clock running with 1:35 left in the half.
8th play of the drive coming up for Andrew Hellriegel and his Carterville Lions. Gives it to Smith. Smith cuts it to the outside, keeps his legs churning down to about the 5-yard line. That's a first down. Carterville's going to have it 1st and goal at the 5 of the Indians.
From our vantage point, all you could see is Indian defenders with their number back, the numbers on their back facing us, and they just kept running. You couldn't see Smith, but you could tell he had his legs still churning.
Saw the hole open up on the right side as he took it off tackle.
Well, he follows his blockers very well.
67 seconds remaining in the half. Carterville trying to score here to close out the first half. It's 21-6. Hellriegel takes the snap, throws it across the middle, finds Blake Berkey, wow. Touchdown. And Carterville does extend that 21-0 lead. It is 27-6.
What a pass by Hellriegel to Berkey. He had to thread the needle because the defender was right there. Berkey made the grab, and Carterville is on the board again.
Comes at the 57-second mark of the second quarter. Beautiful. Man, he rifled that ball in there. Berkey just...
Yeah, don't question Hellriegel's arm strength after that throw.
Riley Crane on for the extra point for the Lions. 27-6 is the score. The kick is blocked. It's on the ground, and it's covered up by the Indians. Can't advance a blocked field goal, and that keeps the score at 27-6. Lions are on top of the DuQuoin Indians. We'll be back in 30 seconds on News Radio WJPF.
Charlie's Air Conditioning and Heating in Carterville is your York dealer. Charlie's always offers competitive pricing with financing available, making it easy as possible for you to get the new York system up and running as quickly as possible. Winter weather will be here before you know it. Is your furnace ready? Charlie's Air Conditioning and Heating can make sure it's running smoothly. Get more information at charliesairandheat.com. Charlie's Air Conditioning and Heating is a proud sponsor of local high school sports. York, install confidence.
This is News Radio 1340 WJPF Heron, W258DP Heron, 99.5 FM.
57 seconds remain in this first half. Carterville has extended the lead to 27-6 after the 5-yard touchdown pass from Andrew Hellriegel to Blake Berkey. Ball is teed up. Lions kicking it away. Riley Crane approaches and kicks. And the kick is taken at the 25-yard line. That is taken by P.J. Winters, and Winters cuts it to the outside and is finally pushed out of bounds over on the Lions sideline at about, where are they going to mark him out? At about the 43-yard line. DuQuoin has the ball, though. 47 seconds remaining in the half.
Well, they missed a block in the back. Either that or one of the Carterville defenders was practicing his diving ability. Either way, DuQuoin gets the ball at their own 42 with 47 seconds left in the first half.
Lions have a 27-6 lead. And Waller from the shotgun. 2 receivers right. Waller rolls right, throws it right, has his receiver there. It's caught at the 40, the 39 of the Indians just below us. Nice job on the reception from P.J. Winters.
Nice throw on the run by the quarterback. He had some pressure coming from his backside, but that's a nice timing pattern. And now DuQuoin is at Carterville's 38.
They're in hurry up. 41 seconds with the clock stop. That's a screen to Washington. Takes it across the 20, and he's popped right at the 18-yard line. Out there in coverage and bringing down Hamilton was Braden Wakey.
Well, I'll tell you what, the player that is the maddest right now is Jordan Cordes. He was screaming at the official that he's being held, which explains why he got open so easily.
First and 10 from the 18. Waller rolls right, And doesn't have anybody open. Now he's going to have to keep it. He runs out of bounds to stop the clock with 22 seconds. Him running out of bounds indicates that was great coverage on the receivers for the Lions.
Yeah, and the closer you get to the goal line, the less field obviously you have to work with. So it's kind of an advantage for the defensive backs. But let's see if Carterville can finish off this half. And Cordes is still screaming at the official that he is being held. And he's not a happy camper, and that's not one guy I'd want to tick off.
2nd and 6 from the 14. And a timeout is called.
Something's on the turf.
There's a towel on the turf at the 20.
DuQuoin does have 2 timeouts left.
22.7 seconds on the clock. Indians are driving. It's 2nd and 6 from the Lion 14. Waller, pump fake, throws it out, throws it behind his receiver out to the far side of the end zone. Falls incomplete, and now it's 3rd and 6 from the 14.
Both Berkey and Wakey were defending, and that ball had to be thrown perfectly for it to be completed.
Coming up, we're going to have our SIU Credit Union halftime report. Coming into the game for the Indians, after talking to head coach Derek Beard, Cam Waller. Camden works from the shotgun. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Hamilton, the running back. It's 3rd and 6 from the 14. Waller reverses, has pressure, gets away, throws it toward the corner, throws it incomplete. And he's not happy with some call, as it was Jordan Cordes that put the pressure on Cam Waller.
Yeah, Cordes had him in his sights, just couldn't bring him down. But nice job by Waller just to throw the ball away and live for another day. Now this is 4th and 6, so let's see if Carterville can hold here and take this 27-6 lead into the half.
Zach Miller checks out. Checking in is Nick Bishing. So Carterville's bringing an extra defensive back in. They'll rush 4. It is 4th and 6 for the Indians from their own 14. 12 seconds remaining in the half. Waller takes the snap. Screen pass to Hamilton. Cuts it outside and dropped at the 7-yard line. It's going to be a first down for the Indians. Depending on the mark, it is going to be first.
Yeah, it's going to be 1st and goal from about the 8. There's only 6 seconds left. DuQuoin just used their 2nd timeout, but they've really only got time for 1 play, maybe 2 if they try to run the ball.
So 27-6 is our score. Carterville 3-0 on the season. DuQuoin is 1-2 on the season. They won their opener against Chester 26-0. Then they lost to Harrisburg 25-14, and to Heron a week ago 20-14. So
if you're DuQuoin, this is going to be an interesting call. Do you try to throw a quick out? Do you try to throw a quick pass to the end zone, so if it's incomplete, you've got another play? Or do you dare try to run the ball with 1 timeout left? Well, they still show DuQuoin with 2, but I think that's their set. They've already taken 2, I believe. It's just
they have. They took 1
I'm
early
sorry,
in the first quarter.
It does show 1 up there.
Yep,
My bad. It does show 1.
So it is 1st and goal. And it's the fade to the outside corner. It's too far. The receiver can't get a foot down. He was out of bounds. And the intended receiver, I believe that was P.J. Winters. He caught it, but it was out of the back of the end zone.
And I could tell when he threw it that it was going to be out of the end zone.
He put some elevation on that.
At that point, as a defensive back, you just don't want to get called for a hold.
Don't give him anything.
Yeah.
2.7 seconds. So this will be the final play of the half. Carterville leads it 27-6. Trying to keep the Indians from scoring. DuQuoin will have the football, and the Indians are going to take their final timeout. We'll keep it right here, but remember, Indians will get the ball to start the second half.
If you're Carterville here, Dave, what do? Do you bring the pressure? Do you blitz a linebacker? Do you go all out and try to, or do you play coverage? Again, DuQuoin is in the spot on the field where there's not a lot of room. It has to be something quick, a slant, maybe to the corner, but the defender has the advantage because they can't get very far behind them.
I think they'd fake the throw and give it to Hamilton.
Well, they've swung the ball out to Hamilton twice on this drive, and he's been literally wide open to where when he turns up field,
gets ahead of steam.
He's running towards Carterville defenders instead of the opposite.
We'll find out, Scott Hudson. That's why I'm not a coach. We'll just say what we say.
I personally think they'll throw a pass because since it's the last play of the first half, they can take their time. He could roll out and wait for somebody to come open.
We'll find out. He's got 2 receivers right, and another timeout is called, and it's taken by the Lions. So maybe they saw something.
A little bit of a
there.
chess match going on.
Yeah. Plus, maybe they thought they saw something there. But man, I tell you what, Scott, there's some big scores being put up around Southern Illinois tonight.
Yeah, at halftime, Benton leads Heron 21-0.
Nashville at the half leads AJ 42-0.
Yeah,
Centralia leads Carbondale 20-7. Marion's leading Cahokia 14-8. Benton leads Heron 21-0. JC has a halftime lead of 7-0 over Hamco.
I thought that would be a much bigger score for Johnson City in that game.
Sasser leads Ed County 43-0. After the timeout called by the Lions, the Indians now are 2nd down and goal. The ball is at the 7-yard line. 2.7 seconds left. Lions need a stop. Waller takes the snap, rolls to his right, has some pressure, throws it across the middle, finds the receiver, touchdown, DuQuoin Indians. Nice job by Waller to extend the play, and a nice job by the receiver getting open to make the catch, and on the catch it was P.J. Winters.
Waller had pressure, but he kept his eyes looking towards the end zone. And as I said, when you know it's the last play of a half, you can extend the play. You don't have to worry about throwing the ball away, and that's what he did. And the receiver in the back of the end zone went to his right and got away from Wakey and was able to bring it in.
The clock had expired. And Carterville leads it by 15. Waller throws the 2-point conversion. It's no good. And so as we head to the half, Carterville leads the DuQuoin Indians. It is 27-12. Stay with us. Our SIU Credit Union halftime report is coming up. You're listening to Lions football on News Radio WJPF.
The Bank of Heron has been serving Southern Illinois since 1930.
Hey, everybody online, good evening to you. Hey, if you haven't done so, subscribe to that channel that you're watching this game on. I would appreciate it. Just makes it easier to do things, get games set up. We appreciate you watching. (27-12) is our score. The Carterville Lions lead the DuQuoin Indians. We are at the half. This is your SIU Credit Union report, and that was a good first half of football, and Carterville still has a 15-point lead.
We saw a little bit of everything in that first half. We saw a lot of flags. We saw very good passing from both quarterbacks, Waller and Hellriegel. We saw a good running game by the Carterville Lions, at least in the first quarter, from Smith. We saw a little bit of everything, and Carterville scored that touchdown to go up 27-6, and you had to feel like, okay, there's not a lot of time left in the first half. Just finish this off, and you go in the half with all the momentum. But DuQuoin got a very good return on the kickoff, came down the field, and actually scored on the last play of the half from 6 yards out on a touchdown pass. And that's been one of the problems DuQuoin's had this year, is scoring points once they get into the red zone. Now the momentum's kind of shifted a little bit, and as you pointed out, DuQuoin will get the ball to start the third quarter, so let's see what halftime adjustments that each team makes.
The scoring was started by the Carterville Lions as they took the opening kickoff, went 10 plays, and it was a 20-yard touchdown pass from Andrew Hellriegel to Peyton Biddle. That came at the 9:07 mark. The two-point conversion was good. Carterville led it 8-0. DuQuoin took the next possession, 11 plays. It started at their own 23, and it was a 26-yard pass from Cam Waller to Green. The two-point conversion was no good. That was at the 4:23 mark. Carterville led it 8-6. Carterville gets the ball back at the 4:12 mark of the first. They go 6 plays and score on a 1-yard touchdown run from Bryce Smith. And the extra point was no good. And Carterville led it 14-6. Switch over to the second quarter. The Indians had the ball and they were driving, but they were facing a 4th and 9 and could not convert. And Carterville gets the ball back at the 9:47 mark. They marched down on a 13-yard drive, a play in which they caught a huge break. As ball was fumbled by Andrew Hellriegel, and Carterville recovered at their own 1-yard line. But on that play, there was a penalty on the Indians, and then Carterville's able to go on and convert that as they drive and to score on a 1-yard touchdown run at the 3:33 mark by Bryce Smith, and Lions lead it 21-6. DuQuoin gets the ball back. They fumble it away. Carterville recovers. Carterville goes down and scores on a 5-yard touchdown pass from Hellriegel to Blake Berkey. That was with 57 seconds remaining in the half. Lions lead it after the the extra point was no good, 27-6. And then the Indians march it down in 8 plays, a 7-yard pass from Waller to Winters. They miss the 2-point conversion, and that's where we stand, 27-12.
The drive that stands out to me is the one you just mentioned where Carterville fumbled the ball at the 1. And you thought, because I think that was going to be third down from there. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, we didn't even see the penalty flag. It was on the far side. It was holding on DuQuoin. It had to have probably been a defensive back because Carterville was going to throw the ball. That was huge. Not only it got Carterville out of, deep in their own territory, but allowed them to drive down the field and go up 27-6. But again, give DuQuoin credit. They didn't hang their, they didn't hang their chins. They got a nice return, went down and scored right before half, and they're right back in this thing.
The Marching Indians are on the turf here at Van Meter Field. A great crowd sat back and watching the halftime show. We're going to go on and take a break here on our SIU Credit Union halftime report. When we come back, Scott and I will run through scores from around Southern Illinois. Lions lead this one. It's 27-12 at the half. It's Lions football on News Radio WJPF.
Hey, quick, tell me the greatest thing about
gas fireplace. And save money. Carterville.
USIU Credit Union halftime report continues. Dave McKenzie, Scott Hudson. The Lions lead this game, Scotty, 27-12. Checking scores from around Southern Illinois. Marion leads Cahokia. That is 14-8 in the third quarter. Nashville shutting out Anna Jonesboro at the half is the last score. We have 42-0 Nashville over AJ. Centralia leading Carbondale 20-7. That is a halftime score. Benton and Heron 21-0. I don't know if you have anything new on that.
Nope, nothing new.
JC continues the 7-point lead, getting the shutout of Hamco. That is at the half. Also, Sasser-Valier, Waltonville leads at 43-0 over Edwards County at the half. CZR getting blasted by Carmi White County 47-8 at the half. Althoff leads Mount Vernon leads Althoff 40-27. That is a halftime score.
Defense optional?
Yeah, apparently. Chester leads Sparta 14-0 in the second. El Dorado leads Vienna Goreville 42-8. And that Murfreesboro, Massac County score is probably Murfreesboro 190-15.
Yeah,
something like that.
Let's see if I can bring it up here. Where was it? Last I had was 38-0. That was in the first quarter. It was much more than that at halftime, but Murphy's having their way with Massac.
And there are 4 games going on tomorrow. 1 o'clock start for Flora at Fairfield. 1 o'clock start for Madison at Granite City. 2 o'clock start for Harrisburg at West Frankfort. And a 2 o'clock start for the Panthers at Oblong Palestine HUT, whatever that initial is. So, but let's talk about this first half. What do you expect second half wise?
Well, I expect a little bit of the same, at least from DuQuoin. I thought DuQuoin's offense was very good in that first half. They kind of mixed it up. They had the running game going with Hamilton. Then they had Waller, the quarterback, roll out. He made some very nice throws. They've not been one-dimensional. That they're able to throw the ball at times, they're able to run the ball at times, much like Carterville has had to do in that first half. So I think it's going to come down to which defense can make a critical stop on a third down and maybe turn the tide for their team.
I would agree. I mean, for the Lions, they caught a couple of big breaks in that first half. They were huge. This could be a completely different game. You know, if number one on the fumble that Hellriegel had when he was getting spun down to the turf there late in the second quarter. If he doesn't recover that, Indians have it at their 1. On the flip side, huge penalty gives it back to the Lions, and they go down and score.
And that's what good teams do. They make other teams pay for their mistakes, and Carterville did exactly that. Again, I thought DuQuoin – I thought the score at half was going to be 27-6. I thought after Carterville got that big score, that kind of deflated the Indians a little bit. But they got the big return on the kickoff, and I think that's what changed the mindset for maybe the Indian coaching staff. They thought, okay, now we're in a position to maybe take a couple of chances, as opposed to if we had the ball at the 20, we may just take a couple of knees and go into the locker room. But now they've got the momentum. They're going to get the ball to start the third quarter, so Carterville's defense is going to have to be ready.
I also want to give a shout-out to Jackson Smith, the center. He's done an outstanding job in that first half. A freshman getting his first varsity start tonight, replacing Jaden Smith, his brother. And I don't know that I can even think of a bad snap that he had. Maybe the first one was a little bit low, but all of them have been right where Andrew Hellriegel wants them. And got to give the freshman some credit. He stepped up.
And especially linemen, if you don't notice them, that means they're doing a good job.
Yep.
It's kind of like officials. If you don't notice them, they're probably doing their job and letting the two teams play. But you're right. He has done an excellent job for his first start as a freshman.
I also want to say happy belated birthday to Zach Miller's dad. Yesterday was his birthday, and I forgot to post on his Facebook page happy birthday, so I thought I'd say happy birthday.
Well,
here
you
today.
made up for it tonight.
Yeah, I'll score points there with Mr. Miller, which is always a good thing. Hey, it is 27-12 is our score here on our SIU Credit Union report. And let's see here. With 11:42 left in the third, Benton leads Heron 28-0. We're going to go on and take our final break here on our halftime report. Third quarter action is coming up next on News Radio WJPF.
Don't let the name fool you. The International Brother.
Welcome back to Lions football on News Radio WJPF. I'm Dave McKenzie, Scott Hudson alongside, and tomorrow morning, Scotty, starting at 8 o'clock, you'll drag your happy behind into the radio station and kick off Sports Voice with Murph. I'll pop in there starting about 9 o'clock. But last week, we named our high school football team of the week, which just so happens to be the Carterville Lions. We had the NFL picks for week number 1, and I just want to pat myself on the back that I was the only one that took the Chicago Bears a week ago.
You were.
I hope that bodes well when we reveal the results.
Well, as long as they got a monsoon in Green Bay, I think they got a shot.
I'm taking Chicago to beat Green Bay in Packerland.
Okay, all right.
It worked a week ago.
It did. It did.
But you can join Murph and Hudson starting at 8 o'clock on News Radio WJPF and 103.5 ESPN as the Lions are making their way out of the locker room to our left. And, again, I just want to say congratulations to the DuQuoin School Board and athletics here. This field is absolutely gorgeous. And as you look around, you see the end zone is black, has the red DuQuoin letters. The sideline, it's got the tribal markings down the sidelines from the 25 around the end zone. And then as you look across the field and you see the grass there, when you're looking on the stream, it says Indians between the hash marks. Just this whole complex with the ball field, baseball fields over there, and the new turf, this is just a really nice facility.
Well, what I think is impressive about this facility is they don't have a lot of room to build, yet they've put a very, very nice baseball field right next to the football field. And, again, they've done it with not a lot of space to work with.
Yeah, as the Indians finally make their way out of the locker room and making their way to the field here. Carterville leads it 27-12. And so it is both teams going through their halftime stretches. I thought I said something there wrong, but
thought you were in trouble, didn't you?
Wasn't me. It wasn't me. This time it wasn't me, Scott Hudson.
Isn't there a song like that?
It wasn't me.
Wasn't me.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see what kind of adjustments Carterville's made at halftime. again, I thought DuQuoin played a very good first half. You know, they got punched right in the mouth early by Carterville, but they didn't it didn't phase them. They came back, they fought hard, but like I said, that last touchdown by DuQuoin right before half, you know, had to give them some momentum going in the half. Now they're still down by 15, but they get the ball first, and I thought at times in that first half they really moved the football on Carterville's defense, which not really anybody's been able to do that this year.
No, I agree. And you'll see, we'll have an opportunity to see what kind of adjustments the Lions made at halftime. You know, you talk about the adjustments they made to stop Bryce Smith. He chunked them up that first drive, but they were able to kind of corral him and contain him after that opening drive for the Lions. But now, after going into the locker room, Coach Wakey, Coach Gerald's, Coach Dial getting together, seeing what adjustments they can make on the offensive line maybe to get Smith going again.
Well, I think Carterville, and they did this in the first half, had to go the passing game because Smith was getting wrapped up at the line of scrimmage in the second quarter. But we know Hell Real can throw the ball, and if DuQuoin is going to play 7-8 guys in the box and shut down Smith, then that's going to open up receivers, whether it be in the flat or on a slant pattern, on a fly pattern. It's going to give Carterville some opportunities to make some big plays.
So as we get set for second half action, this is the first conference game of 2022. Carterville trying to extend its record to 4-0 to start the season. Next week we'll be taking on Anna Jonesboro at home, the first of 2 home games in a row.
Not many home games left. You've got 3 left, those 2 back-to-back, and then you've got Pinckneyville the next to last game, and Carterville will finish out the season at Harrisburg, which that could be a very interesting game depending on what Harrisburg's record is and do they need that win to get in. So some interesting games coming up. I think the one everybody's looking at after this game is Nashville in 2 weeks at Carterville. So some big games still coming up here in the high school season.
This is the year that the Carterville schedule is a 5 home game schedule. Next year it'll be a 5 road game schedule for the Lions. Everybody is finished with their warm-ups. The Indians are the first to take the field, and they'll have the ball to start play here in the second half. The Lions make their way onto the field. Sit back and relax. Don't forget you can head over to YouTube, and you can join the 100 people that are watching online. Just search Carterville Lions at DuQuoin Indians. And we got you covered with the play-by-play as Riley Green teased the ball near hash on the 40-yard line.
There's your Murfreesboro score you were looking for.
Murphy 52-8 headed to the 4th. And here goes Riley Crane. The kick is on the ground. It's taken at the 27-yard line and trying to get outside, but brought down was P.J. Winters. He is so fast. Man, he just gets them legs to pick him up, put him down.
That was a very, very good open field tackle for Carterville by Eli Mooring, the linebacker. He got him around the ankles. If he doesn't get him there, he's going to get to the outside, and then you just hope somebody can catch him.
Here come the Indians and Coach Derek Beard, as they are going to have 2 receivers to the right side. Cam Waller is the quarterback, the 6-foot, 165-pound junior. Takes the snap, rolls right, pump fake, gets it to his receiver. He makes the catch at the 40 and is finally pushed out of bounds just below us here. Nice pump fake from Waller, and then he caught a streaking P.J. Winters down the sideline.
Well, he faked the ball to Hamilton, and that confused Carterville. Waller came to the outside and just dumped it out to the receiver. Big gain on first down.
That was a gain of 30. Let's see here. The ball was at the 40, at the 46. And it's the give to Hamilton. He stopped, feels some pressure, and finally a nice ankle tackle right there by the Lions. And that's going to be a loss of 2 for the Indians.
That's Eli Mooring again, making a textbook tackle right around the ankles. Wraps him up and drops him for about a 3-yard loss.
Ball is at the 49-yard line. Clock rolls. Carterville leads it 27-12. DuQuoin takes their time coming out of the huddle. 15 seconds on the play clock. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Waller has Hamilton. He puts Winters in motion. It's the pitch to Winters in the backfield. Carterville's got pressure. Cordes has him, spins him to the ground. And Zach Miller was right there just in case. And another big loss for the Indians.
Cordes got to him first. Zachariah Miller was right there. If Cordes doesn't bring him down. Cordes has been in the backfield several times tonight.
3rd and 19.
He made a big play there.
Once he gets a grip of you, you're done for.
The problem is he is so strong and quick. He is so hard to block one-on-one. And if you want to take that chance, go right ahead. But more times than not, that's what's going to happen.
3rd and 19 for the Indians. Waller just throws it long and misses his receiver, and the intended receiver was Gage Green. Gage had a touchdown pass in that first half, and on the coverage for the Lions was Nolan Hartford.
Green got behind Hartford. Hartford turned both ways, and if that ball is on target, that's probably a touchdown. But Waller was getting pressure and had to get the ball off probably sooner than he wanted to.
Ball is at the 45. It's a 4th and 19 now for the Indians.
First punt of the game.
They're going to punt. And it's Peyton Biddle that is back for the Lions. He is at the 27-yard line. The snap is good. The kick is good. Biddle takes it at the 28-yard line, makes a move, gets away from the defenders across the 40 to the sideline, and is finally driven out of bounds. And Carterville is going to have outstanding field position as they have the ball now with 10:05 on the clock here in the 3rd quarter.
Wasn't a lot of room once Biddle fielded the punt, but he made his way up the sideline. And as you said, Carterville going to start at their own 42 after getting a big 3-and-out. Well, DuQuoin did pick up 1 first down, but then Carterville shut them down and forced them to punt the ball for the first time in this game.
Andrew Hellriegel brings his troops to the near hash. Carterville's going to have trip receivers to the right. They bring Blake Berkey left side. Smith is the running back. Hellriegel takes the snap, throws it across. The ball's tipped, and it's caught. That is Nolan Hartford after catching the tip ball, and he has enough for a first line after the gain of 13 on that pass play.
Well, Hellriegel had to have a little mustard on that because if it's tipped, usually it doesn't get to the receiver. But give Hartford credit for keeping his concentration on the ball and making a big catch and another first down for Carterville.
And they have the ball at the DuQuoin 45-yard line. 27-12 is the score. 15-point lead for the Lions. Ball from the far hash. Hellriegel takes the snap, gives it to Bryce Smith. He keeps the legs churning. They just stack him up right at the 45-yard line. Back to the line of scrimmage. And it is going to bring up 2nd and 10 now from the 45.
This is probably the toughest time Smith has had as far as running the ball between the tackles this year. But give DuQuoin's defensive front credit and their linebackers who are filling the gaps.
Hellriegel claps the hands, throws it left side, finds Berkey at the 35, and he's brought down deep inside DuQuoin territory, and a flag comes in after the tackle. That's what I was thinking. They may have caught him on the face mask. And so they'll tack on some yardage. You know, back to your point about Bryce Smith, he entered the game averaging over 8 yards per carry. He did have that big blast run on that first drive.
Yeah, he looked like, he looked like Superman on that first drive. But on that play, Hellriegel with a nice pass on a slant pattern to Berkey, and it is a face mask, so they'll mark off a few more yards, either 5 or 15, depending on if it was intentional or
it's going to be the big one. They're going to mark it way down at the 10-yard line of DuQuoin.
He must have yanked on it a little bit.
And DuQuoin and Carterville can get a first down. I do believe we'll see as they stretch out the chain. There's the snap, throws it right side. That is Nolan Hartford. Makes a move toward the end zone, and finally 3 defenders are there to build a wall, and Hartford can't climb the wall or run through the wall, and he's dropped after a gain of about 7 on that pass from Hellriegel.
Carterville loves running that play where they throw it out quickly to the wideout, and the other receiver on the same side is the blocker, and they give their receiver just enough room to make big plays.
2nd and goal from the 3-yard line for the Lions. Full house backfield for the Lions. Hellriegel takes the snap, gets in behind his blockers, dives forward, gets in for the touchdown. Andrew Hellriegel from 3 yards out drives it home. Carterville extends the lead 33-12.
Well, after the defense gets the stop on DuQuoin, on their first possession, they march right down the field and punch it in. And now all the momentum is on Carterville's side.
Comes at the 8:15 mark of the 3rd quarter. The 3-yard run from the quarterback, Andrew Hellriegel, and on for the extra point. Carterville's kicker, Riley Crane. Brandon Skelcher on the hold. The snap, the hold, the kick is good, and the Lions lead it now 34-12 here at Van Meter Field. Stay with us. More Lions football next on News Radio WJPF.
Dr. Childers and his team have been creating smiles across Southern Illinois for over 30 years. Dr. Childers is dedicated to being gentle, compassionate, and efficient during your orthodontic journey. He is also the #1 Invisalign provider in Southern Illinois. Dr. Childers offers free consultations at all 3 of his locations, Heron, Benton, and Harrisburg. Check out his website at childersbraces.com for more information. Dr. Childers will help you achieve the smile you've always wanted.
(34-12) is the score. The Carterville Lions lead the DuQuoin Indians after the 3-yard touchdown run from Andrew Hellriegel. As Riley Crane this time is going to tee it up from right between the hashes. 8:15 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Crane approaches, kicks, little squib kick, and that's a good kick as it comes and picked up at the 15-yard line. The Lions are right there to wrap up the return man. The ball's on the turf, and they're going to say he was down. But, man, that was close. But Indians have the ball here with 8:08 remaining in the 3rd quarter.
A couple of scores report. Centralia leads Carbondale 27-14 in the 3rd. And with 4:15 left in the 3rd, Benton now leads Heron 35-6.
Indians have it from their own 29. It's a 22-point lead for the Lions, 34-12. Waller rose right. Feels some pressure. Cordes is getting to him, and he just has to throw it away as Jordan Cordes broke free of the blocker, put the pressure on Waller, and all of a sudden Waller was like, ruh-roh, better get rid of that.
It just looks like Cordes has fun every night. Every game he's having fun. Chasing quarterbacks, stopping running backs in their tracks. He is just one heck of an athlete. And Zachariah Miller, his good buddy there on the defensive line, was right there with him.
That'd be a good movie, The Life of Jordan Cordes.
Well, we're actually living it right now. This
Vicariously.
season, we're living this right now.
Through JC, you're right.
As long as we get a part in the movie, I don't care.
8:02 on the clock. Waller's going to throw it right side. Has a receiver there, but it's just over the fingertips of P.J. Winters. And on the coverage was Bishing for the Lions.
Bishing was right there. Had pretty good coverage. Again, another pass that had to be thrown perfectly for it to be completed.
So now it is 3rd and 10 from their own 29. Waller brings his troops to the line of scrimmage. He's operated from the shotgun the entire time. They give it to Hamilton. He breaks through the line of scrimmage, gets out across the 40, first down, and about 3 yards more, carrying it out to the DuQuoin 43-yard line.
Wakey had to come in from his defensive back position to make a tackle. Hamilton is very, very quick. And if you don't hit him around the line of scrimmage, you're going to be chasing him for a while.
And the play is stopped. Well, you got to give credit to that offensive line for DuQuoin. They're opening up that hole, and he's able to blast through it. He hits the hole hard.
This is a big offensive line.
It is.
It's much bigger than Murfreesboro's. So this was a good test for Carterville's defensive front.
It's offsides on the Lions. So that's going to move the ball 5 yards, bringing up 1st and 5. Don't do that to them, boys.
Yeah, don't beat yourselves.
It's at the 48 now of the Lions. Excuse me, of the Indians. Here comes Camden Waller. Waller, 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. He looks to throw, brings it right side, and it's caught, and nice job defensively as the receiver was P.J. Winters, makes the catch, and P.J. came down just a little bit awkward, and he's coming to the sideline.
Yeah, and he only picked up maybe a yard, but Bishing was right there and made a very, very good tackle.
2nd and 4 for the Indians. They're marking it 2nd and 3 from midfield. Waller gives it to Hamilton. And he's going to be short of the first down, a gain of 1 on that carry. And coming in and making the tackle, being in there, is Carterville's Luke Johnson and a couple of buddies.
Yeah, Talon Walker also in on the stop. 3rd and short, and, of course, now when you're down 34-12, you're in 4-down territory. So let's see if Carterville can come up with a couple of stops here.
3rd and 1 from the Carterville 48. High snap, give it to Hamilton. He busts through and the falls at the 45. That's enough for an Indians first down. That's their 2nd of this drive.
Well, we have one final tonight. Murfreesboro defeats Massac County.
Shocking.
52-14.
Shocking.
Massac County probably thinking, man, we didn't really want to play Murfreesboro after they got thumped last week.
6:15. Clock rolls in the 3rd quarter. Indians are driving, though, from the Lion 45. Waller has the pressure, has to get rid of it. Man, coming off the end there for the Lions. He is so fast, Riley Bradford.
And Talon Walker again.
Yep.
Jordan Korsby says, hey, fellas, I've done enough tonight chasing quarterbacks. It's your turn to chase them for a while.
2nd and 10 from the Lion 45.
But really, this Carterville defense, especially the defensive front, is so much fun to watch. They just get after it, play after play after play.
Hey, Anna Jonesboro scored.
All right.
48-7. Nashville leads AJ. 2nd and 10 from the 45. 2 receivers left. Waller throws it left, has a man wide open at the 30-yard line. It's caught there, makes a move, cuts it inside the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, DuQuoin. A 45-yard touchdown pass for the DuQuoin Indians.
The receiver was wide open at about the 20 or 25-yard line on the far sideline, and then he just had to make a man miss, and he made Biddle miss. And nobody caught him, so DuQuoin's back on the board.
I think that was Tyon Bardo Spiller on the reception. A 45-yard pass from Waller. And it comes at the 5:55 mark. Indians are out for the extra point. The snap, the kick is good. And it is 34-19. With 5:55 showing on the clock. Lions lead at 34-19 here on News Radio WJPF.
You're a safe, professional, over-the-road truck driver. You have at least 3 years' experience experience. You have your CDLA license. Clark Transportation Services in Marion. Right now, they are looking for you. $24 to $26 per hour for your first 40 hours each week. $36 to $39 per hour overtime. Annual salary between $80,000 and $90,000 a year. Find out more and how to apply. Visit Z100FM.com or call 618-997-3889.
Let's give proper credit to the receiver on that. It was number 13, Jace Colvin, on the touchdown reception. 45-yard pass from Waller to Colvin with 5:55 remaining in the third quarter. And the Indians cut into that lead of the Lions. It's 34-19, and they're getting ready to kick away. This Lions broadcast brought to you by Steve and Rich's Barber Styling. It's a full-service salon on Division Street in Carterville. They're open Tuesday through Friday from 8 until 5. Saturday, they're open tomorrow from 8 until 2. Ball is placed at the 40-yard line, and they try the onside. It takes a big hop. It goes out of bounds, and it was going to belong to the Lions as Indians had somebody streaking down the far sideline, got a hand on it, but it goes out of bounds. They got a great hop. That was a good executed onside kick. They just couldn't get it.
Anytime you have an onside kick, you just have to hope you get the right bounce. And DuQuoin got the right bounce, but the ball went out of bounds on the far sideline, and Carterville's going to keep it. But Carterville again has dodged a bullet. That's another play that could have gone against them. But let's see if they can take advantage of that break.
Centralia leads Carbondale 27-14. Marion leads Cahokia 20-8. Chester getting the shutout of Sparta 26-0. 34-19 is our score here. Lions with the football. Hellriegel, 2 receivers left, takes the snap, gives it to Nolan Hartford. Hartford off the right side, picks up about 5 yards. It's going to bring up 2nd and 5 for Carterville.
This is where, and I know we're still in the third quarter, but this is where Carterville wants to impose their will on DuQuoin. They want to have this long, sustained drive that ends in points and takes time off the clock.
It's going to be 2nd and 4 after the gain of 6. Again, 2 receivers left. Bryce Smith is the running back. Hartford's there as well. They swing a pass to Biddle at the 50, makes a move inside the 45, and he's dumped, but it's going to be enough to move the chains and give the Lions a first down.
Just a quick throw to Biddle, who's wide open. Let your playmakers try to make a play in the open field. Good tackle by the DuQuoin defender, but it is going to be a Carterville first down.
At the 42 of the Indians. Coming up, we'll have our Infinity Realty post-game report at the conclusion of this ball game. Ball's 1st and 10 at the 42 for the Lions in Indian territory. It's the give to Bryce Smith. There he gets a little bit of yardage, and a flag comes in. It's in the area where a hold is typically seen.
I think it's going to be a hold. I won't say who I think it's on because I don't know for sure, but it is holding against DuQuoin. Against Carterville. More penalties tonight against Carterville than there were last week. I think we figured out there was 1 against Carterville last week. There were a lot of flags thrown 2 weeks ago at Heron on both teams.
After the penalty, the hold, Lions are looking at a 1st and 17 from the 49 of the Indians. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Hellriegel drops back, straight back, throws a deep ball across the middle, finds his receiver, is caught!
Wow.
And a face mask is being asked for by Nolan Hartford. I think that was Hartford on that catch. It was, and how did he catch that ball?
That's what you call a fingertip catch. What a catch by Hartford. A little bit overthrown, but Hartford with great hands and fingertips on that play.
And more than enough for a first down. Moves the chains. It's 1st and 10 for the Lions. It's the give to Bryce Smith. He has an opening on the outside, cuts it to the outside, tries to get to the goal line, and in for the touchdown. The 20-yard touchdown run for Bryce Smith. Way to go, boys.
That's the biggest hole he's had to run through since the first possession of this game. He had an opening on the right side that, Dave, I think you or I could have run through, at least maybe walked through. But Smith, once he got to about the 5, he was not going to be denied. He was not going to be stopped. And Carterville answers DuQuoin's touchdown with 6 of their own.
You said absolutely nothing about crawling through that hole.
Well, yeah, that's true.
As Crane is on for the extra point for the Lions. It's the snap, the hold, and the kick is good. Boy, what a drive for the Lions. That's how you answer right there. 41-19 is the score here with 4:23 remaining in the third quarter. Stay with us. More Lions football next on News Radio WJPF.
SIU Credit Union now offers interest with free checking with e-statements account. Sign up for free checking and start earning a dividend on balances over $1,000. You can open with just $25 and no monthly fees when you sign up for e-statement. Get access to over 85,000 free ATMs nationwide and earn valuable Buzz Points rewards anytime you use your SIU-CU debit card. Apply online at siucu.org. Membership required, insured by NCUA.
This Lions broadcast is brought to you by the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 702, proud supporters of Lions sports. IBEW Local 702, providing a better lifestyle for members, better life for all. 41-19. That was a great drive by the Lions, and that's how you answer.
If you remember, the same type of catch Hartford made, same spot on the field against Heron a couple weeks ago.
Yes, absolutely. Another squib kick is taken by the Indians at the 30-yard line. They bring it out to the near side, makes a cut up at the 40, and finally taken to the ground at about the 43-yard line. And so the Indians are going to have good field position once again with 4:16 showing on this third quarter clock.
Well, one thing now with 4:16 to go in the third, a Carterville up 41-19, you're probably going to see DuQuoin air it out.
Yep.
Almost 98% of the time.
I would agree.
So now this is where Jordan Cordes, Talon Walker, and that defensive front, they can just pin their ears back and go after the Waller.
As Waller now has 2 receivers to the left side. They put a man in motion to the left. Wants to throw, but he's going to feel some pressure. Brings it right side, throws it down the right side, and it falls incomplete. And the intended receiver for DuQuoin was Gage Green. And again, I believe that actually was Nolan Hartford on the coverage for the Lions.
I think Waller wanted to throw the ball to his left, one of those quick passes to the outside, but Carterville was there to defend it, so he had to come back to his right and had to launch it downfield incomplete.
Ball lies on the near hash at the 44. 2nd and 10. Gives it to Hamilton. He busts through the line, but he's popped right at the line of scrimmage. And a flag, a late flag comes in.
I think they're going to call Cordes for roughing the passer. I did not see what he did, but it was in the area where Cordes and Waller were at. And I got to believe that he got caught for something.
On a handoff at that. And Cordes is arguing
Cordes like, what did I do?
You know, to Brett Dial over on the sideline.
Yeah.
But that's going to tack 15 yards on that. So the penalty on the Lions is going to give Indians a first down, and the ball is set down at the Lions' 40-yard line. Don't do that, boys. Just
no, don't. You know,
don't give them extra.
Yeah, don't give them any
extra.
Don't give them any extra yardage.
In Carterville territory, 1st and 10 from the Lion 40. Waller feels some pressure, throws it left side, caught. And a nice fingertip grab out there by Gage Green. Man, he's a dandy little receiver for the Indians.
On the tackle for Carterville was Peyton Van Horn. I thought the pass was going to be overthrown, and Wakey was standing there just waiting for the ball to hit him in the chest, but that didn't happen.
2nd and 2 from the 32 for DuQuoin. Waller Gives it to Hamilton. He finds his way through that line of scrimmage. I don't know, he turns sideways and kind of scoots his way through the line, but he picks up 5-6 yards, moves the chains, first down for the Indians.
Yeah, he's like a knife through hot butter. You just can't get a good shot on him when he's running.
Indians are going up tempo. Waller rolls right, wants to throw, heaves it right side. It's caught. Nice toe. What am I wanting to say?
Toe
tap catch
tap
on the sideline. That was it. Gage Green. And now, 2nd and 5 from the Lion 21-yard line. Ooh, boy, that could have been bad.
On the tackle for Carterville is Riley Bradford as they go to Hamilton up the middle. They only gained about a yard, so that's going to bring up 3rd, and we'll call it a short 6 or a long 5. Take your pick.
That's what we'll call it. 3rd and 5 is what they have marked, 21.
I would like to see Carterville, Dave, get a stop here. I think they're in control of this game, but I think from a defensive standpoint, you really just don't want to give up any more points.
I would agree. Waller lobs one down the right side, puts it up. It's too far in advance, and another flag.
And let's see who is it going to be. It's on the far sideline.
It's going to be against the Indians. Somebody moved early, I do believe.
And if it was a wide receiver, that's a wide receiver who is on the opposite side of where the play's going. That will make a coach get gray hair quicker than anything. So let's see what the call. No,
it's declined. So
illegal procedure is what they're calling. So maybe they had a wide receiver, move towards the line of scrimmage before the ball was snapped.
After the incompletion that brought up 4th down, Brett Dial chose to decline the penalty. So the Indians now from the 21 are facing a 4th and 5. They need a first down. They trail it 41-19. 2 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. Waller takes the snap, feels pressure, rolls right, feels some more pressure, makes a move, throws it back across his body. It falls incomplete, and Carterville gets a big defensive stop right there. After they forced Waller to the sideline, he got pinned in, just had to throw it away, can't complete it. Lions get the ball back with 1:53 remaining here in the 3rd quarter.
Walker, Mooring, Zachariah Miller all chasing Waller. He just was getting ready to run out of room, and he had to throw it. Luckily, it didn't get picked off for DuQuoin, but Carterville comes up with the stop they needed to get the ball back.
Here come the Lions from their own 21. Another touchdown here would be sweet. They have it on the near hash. Hellriegel takes the snap. He's going to keep it himself. Off left tackle, falls forward for about 3. Call it 2-yard gain. 2nd down and 8 now for Lions.
Carterville has had to use their passing game tonight, but that's not a bad thing because we know that Hellriegel can throw the ball. You've got great receivers in Berkey, Hartford, Cordis when his number's called. So
2nd and 8 from the 23 now for the Lions. Trips to the right. Hellriegel drops back, throws it right, finds the receiver. That's Hartford. First down at the 35 for the Carterville Lions.
He just found an open spot in the defense at about the 34-yard line and just stopped. And Hellriegel delivered on time, and that'll move the sticks. And once they set the sticks, the clock will start.
Minute 10 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Lions in control. It's 41-19. They get another score, then Brett Dial can bring in his subs. Hellriegel, quick pass, left side. Berkey has it, 32-yard line, moves inside the 40 to the 42-yard line. That's where he's brought down, and
That quick,
they're going to mark it to the 44.
Yeah, that quick pass to the sidelines has worked many, many times this season. He actually got about 2, maybe 3 more yards because he was laying on top of the defender, so therefore he's not technically down, and the defender kind of just rolled him over to the 44-yard line.
20 seconds remain in the third quarter. 2 receivers left. Hellriegel's going to let the clock wind down 10, and he gives it to Bryce Smith. Smith tries to cut it to the outside, has to stop, reverses. Now he's got the first down and more. Keeps fighting for 5-6 yards on the carry. Carterville has the first down, and with 5.6 seconds, that's how we're going to end the third quarter. Once they set the chain, they'll roll the clock. We're heading to the fourth quarter at Van Meter Field, and your Carterville Lions lead the DuQuoin Indians. It is 41-19. Stay with us. Fourth quarter action is coming up next on News Radio WJPF.
You're just a few taps away from crispy, golden, and delicious. A scroll from refreshment bliss. A mere click stands between you and a tasty treat. Get the McDonald's app with mobile order and pay and stay connected to all your favorites. Don't miss app-only McDonald's deals like 50% off any medium or large McCafe beverage. Validity 15 through 9/30/22 at participating McDonald's. One time per day. McD app download and registration required.
You're listening to Carterville Lions.
41-19 as we start play here in the fourth quarter. Lions have the lead, and the ball is Hellriegel is popped in the backfield. A loss of about 2, maybe 3. It's going to be a loss of 3 here as we start play in the third.
Had nowhere to go to his left. The defensive front for DuQuoin had good push, and he just had nowhere to go.
Ball is at the 47-yard line. Centralia leads Carbondale 27-14. Marion beating Cahokia 36-14. Chester over Sparta 26-0.
Chester will get their first win of the season.
Carterville's going to take their time every single play now. 47, or try 8-7-6-5. Hellriegel from the shotgun. Pump fake. Points out, finds the receiver, overthrows Peyton Biddle, the intended receiver on the sideline. Just couldn't get it to go.
Yeah, he pump fake, tried to get Biddle going deep, but the Indian defensive backs did not fall for it this time, so Biddle came back, and Hellriegel threw it just a little too high.
Just a little bit too high. Coming up, we will have our Infinity Realty post-game report. We'll name our star of the game. Talk to head coach Brett Dial. Update scores from around Southern Illinois. It's all coming up right after the conclusion of this game. Pass is caught by Nolan Hartford, and he's out of bounds, and
got
a late
first down.
tackle. And a first down for the Lions.
Hartford's one of those backs, whether he's running the ball out of the backfield or catching the ball as a receiver. When he gets it, he's gone. He doesn't really look for blockers. He just gets it and goes. Kind of the opposite of Bryce Smith, but they complement each other so well, and they're so much fun to watch.
Ball is at the 39 of the Indians. It's 1st and 10. Lions would like another score here. 41-19. And they give it to Bryce Smith. Has a blocker out in front of him. Follows him. That's Zach Miller. Keeps his legs moving, and he picks up 7 on the carry. 2nd and 3 now for Carterville.
That left side of that offensive line, downfield blocking for Mr. Smith.
Zach Miller, he's a He's a pulling guard coming out there and trying to open up, give him the protection he needs on the outside as the clock rolls to 10.5 minutes left. 2nd and 3 from the 34 of the Indians. Ball is on the far hash. 2 receivers. Now they've got 3 receivers to the left side. 4, 3, 2, 1, and that's going to be timeout called by Coach Brett Dial. 10:13 on the clock, 41-19. We'll pause 30 seconds. This is Lions football on News Radio WJPF.
There's
Updating some scores from around Southern Illinois. Let me tell you this, Scott Hudson. Mount Vernon Rams have scored 61 points. They lead Althoff 61-27. Benton leads Heron 35-6. And let's see here. El Dorado leads Vienna 42-8. Nashville gets the 48-7 win. Johnston City the 28-0 win over Hamco.
Well, Mount Vernon is going to be right there at the top of the pecking order when it comes to high school team of the week tomorrow.
I would say that's a possibility. Lions have it, breaking through the line of scrimmage on the carry, and enough for a Carterville first down. I didn't see who got the ball. It was Bryce Smith, or maybe it's Hellriegel.
Yeah, he just got the snap and took off and picked up a first down.
I look down, I look up, and they're through the line.
Well, I said last week on Sports Voice after we picked Carterville as Team of the Week, I said Mount Vernon and Johnson City will at some point get Team of the Week if they continue to do what they're doing. Well, I guess the Mount Vernon fan says, okay, what do you think about us now?
Week. 10 seconds on the play clock. Andrew Hellriegel takes the snap. Gives it to Smith. Smith finds an opening inside the 15, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown! Bryce Smith. 25-yard touchdown run for your Carterville Lions. Boy, what a run.
What a run. What a great job of blocking by the line in this late in the third, early in the fourth. Carterville's offensive line, you can see it. They're wearing down that defensive front of the DuQuoin Indians, and Carterville now goes up 47-19.
Wow.
Final score, Benton defeats Heron 35-6 as the scores keep rolling in.
We'll wrap up all of the scores on our postgame report. 47-19 our score here. Riley Crane on for the extra point. Snap, hold, kick, good. 48-19 is your score. The Lions just keep on a rolling. Stay with us. We'll return to Van Meter Field here on News Radio WJPF.
John A. Logan and
This Lions broadcast is brought to you by Charlie's Air Conditioning and Heating in Carterville. Punctual service, 5-star satisfaction, and the experience that comes from 40 years in the business. You'll find them online. Just visit charliesairandheat.com. 48-19, your Carterville Lions score with 9:38 remaining in the game. Here's the kickoff from Riley Crane. Kicks this one away, and it's going to be taken at the 10-yard line by the Indians. And they do the handoff in the reverse. They bring it the other way down the sideline and popped out of bounds.
Well, they're going to say he ran out at about the 32.
And on the, I think it was Landon Reeves It took the little flea flicker return.
Yeah, he stepped out of bounds at about the 32, 33-yard line. It looked like Carterville had that play diagnosed. It looked like they realized it was going to be a reverse, yet the return man for DuQuoin was able to get down the sideline before he stepped out at about the
32.
Yeah, we'll call it 32.
Here are the Indians. And it's the give to Jonathan Hamilton. Cam Waller stays in at quarterback for the Indians rather.
Riley Bradford, Zachariah Miller on the stop for Carterville.
2nd and 6 from the 36. Ball is on the near hash. Clock rolls, under 9 minutes to play. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Waller looks to the near side. Head coach Derek Beard, Mason audible. Takes the snap, gives it to his running back, up the gut, out to the 41-yard line.
That is, trying to get the number on the player. That is
10?
Luke Ballman, I believe. Yeah, Luke Ballman.
Yeah.
I'm looking on the sideline. I don't see Hamilton unless he's in the game and they're lining him up in the slot or wide receiver.
It's 3rd and 1 from the 42. Waller gives it to Bauman again, and he's stacked up. Man, he got smoked right at the line of scrimmage.
What's your name, sir? Tsunami.
Yeah. Clock just keeps rolling, under 8 now. 4th down and 4. Loss of 3 on that.
Let's see what
at the 39.
It's like a Chinese fire drill out there right now with the DuQuoin Indians, getting players on and off the field. Plenty of time on the play clock. I guess, yeah, they're going to punt.
And on to do the punting, Jalen Smith. Smith, the 5'9 junior. Carterville has Peyton Biddle back. No, that's Bishing back. Gets the kick away. Hits at the 37-yard line, and it's going to roll inside the 30 to the 25, and that's where it's going to be downed right there. Carterville's getting the ball back with 7:12 on remaining in the game. Let's pause 30 seconds. This is News Radio WJPF.
To buy or sell a home in this area, you have a number of realtors to choose from. But if you want a local team that never stops working for you, a locally owned realty, so money stays to help the community, realtors who know the local market and have the latest technology, then you'll want Infinity Realty, serving all of Southern Illinois. It's still a good time to sell. Call Infinity to list or buy. 618-942-3333 on Division Street, Carterville. Online at infinityrealtyhomes.net.
48-19 is our score. Your Carterville Lions lead the DuQuoin Indians. The Lions with the football. They'll take their time here as Hellriegel hands it off to Nolan Hartford, I believe, on that carry.
Yeah, that Carterville's offensive line, Dave, they've just started to wear down that defensive front of DuQuoin. And that's what they've done to almost all their opponents so far this season. It may have taken a little bit longer than in the past weeks, but they are just so good and so quick off the ball. And once you get a lead, even though the defense knows what's coming, which is a running play, you just don't have the energy, you just don't have the strength to stop it when you get into the 3rd and 4th quarter.
2nd and 3 from the 32. The Lions taking their time. Play clock down to 5, 4, 3. They get the play off. And it's Nolan Hartford right up the gut out to the 41, 42-yard line. 1st down, that's going to move the chains. And Carterville just keeps the clock rolling.
A couple of the Carterville assistant coaches leaving the press box up here. They're happy, should be.
So it's 1st and 10 from the 42. 2-yard line.
I would say if Carterville still has the ball with about 4 minutes left, that's when they'll probably bring in some subs in the backfield.
Hellriegel gives it to Hartford once again. And he falls forward for about 4-yard gain. 2nd and 6. Carterville next week will be home against Anna Jonesboro. That'll be a 7 o'clock kickoff. And the second conference game. Carterville, that'll be playing 2 in a row at home. Anna Jonesboro next week, and then the following week it'll be Nashville coming in. Nashville gets the win tonight. 5:15 on the clock. 2nd and 7 from the 46. Swing pass left side. Blake Berkey's out there. He has it. Falls forward for a gain of 2. It's going to bring up 3rd down, and we'll say about 4 yards for the Lions.
And here comes, well, Carterville had a whole group of new players coming in, and
somebody whistled.
Yeah,
said, come back.
Yeah.
3rd and 4 from the 48 now.
I think they'll probably come in after. If Carterville gets a first down, I think that's when you'll see a lot of changes.
Our Infinity Realty postgame report is coming up. So give to Hartford, first down, and that's going to move the chains. And here come all the subs for the Carterville Lions. DuQuoin's making some changes as well. And that starting group is getting, I can hear Coach Brett Dial over here through my headset. He is a happy camper with this performance from his Lions.
Well, he knew this was not going to be an easy game. DuQuoin really needed this game. I mean, they're still in the playoffs, but it's going to be tough now with 3 losses after 4 weeks. So he knew it was not going to be easy. He knew that they were a physical team. But the second half really just it's been all Carterville. Carterville had their way at times in the first half. Had a comfortable lead at half, but you kind of had that feeling like, there just needs to be a little bit more. And Carterville did just that in the second half.
Absolutely. DuQuoin had the ball to start playing the second half, and Carterville forced him to punt. That was big.
Yeah, and
take
Carterville
that
goes
momentum,
down and scored.
And Carterville goes down and scores.
And I know there's a lot of time left, even after Carterville scored first in the third quarter, but for all intent and purposes, that was the game. I mean, DuQuoin got the ball first, did nothing, and Carterville goes down and quickly scores, and it just takes all the air out of your sails if you're DuQuoin.
So Lions have it 1st and 10. Going to be wholesale changes for the Lions. Skelcher is in at quarterback now. Brandon, the junior quarterback, has trip receivers to the left side. One receiver to the right. Takes the snap, gives it to his running back. That's Riley Crane. Riley Crane gets to the outside, and he fights his way. Gain of 9. He's going to be a yard short of a first down.
Some of these players, if not all, you will see a lot more of in the upcoming seasons. So this playing time is very valuable for them to catch the coach's eye, as they say.
Officially, it's 2nd and 2 from the 35. Skelcher sends those 3 receivers to the right side now. 1 to the left. Play clock at 8, 7, 6, 3:20 on the game clock. Snap, gives it to his running back, makes a move, cuts up. Inside the 35 once again, it's Riley Crane on the carry.
Try to catch some of these new players for Carterville in the field now. Cole Sims, one of the offensive linemen. Bronson Bloodworth. Let's see. Also, Storm Snyder. You got to be an offensive lineman with a name like Storm Snyder.
Absolutely.
I mean, you got to be.
Maybe a safety. That'd be a good safety name, too.
Landon Fellner also on that line.
Play clock down to 1. Riley Crane keeps it. He picks up about 2 yards. 2nd and 8 with 2.5 remaining.
Carterville can probably run 2 more plays, and then they can call it a night.
48-19 is our score. This Lions team, folks, is on a roll right now. They found their offense in the last 2 weeks. And they have been dominant in back-to-back wins.
Now they didn't get the play off.
There's a big old clock right down there.
Yep.
20 yards from you.
I heard one of the.
Who was it? Mike McCarthy from when he was in Green Bay one time. He said, I couldn't see the clock.
Yeah, well. Conrad Opticals are doing a sale. Mr. McCarthy, you might want to go there.
I couldn't see the clock. After the penalty, that's going to back him up.
I heard one of the Carterville coaches through my headphones say, snap the ball, you know.
Snap the ball. Throw out. It's caught. Cuts up at the 30, the 25, 15, 10, 5, and touchdown! From the 35, Skelcher. I didn't see who caught that.
I think that was Bishing.
Skelcher.
I think that was Bishing.
I think it was.
I think it is. Bishing caught the ball at about the at the hash marks and looked like he was going to continue to go inside, but he kind of stopped on a dime and went to the outside and just outran everybody to the end zone.
Comes at the 142 mark. 54-19. Lions will go for 2. Skelcher takes a knee. 54-19. And we'll pause 30 seconds here on News Radio WJPF.
You don't have to be told the price of power.
$54-19 is our score. 1:42 remaining. Your Carterville Lions are going to roll on their record to 4-0 on the season. And there is a reason why they were named the 103.5 ESPN WJPF John A. Logan College CILFM High School Football Team of the Week a week ago. They can't win it back-to-back weeks in a row, though.
Nope. You only win it once. But they've broken the curse.
They have. The kick is picked up at the 5-yard line. Far hash takes it to the middle field. 1 flag, 2 flags.
Yeah, I think.
I hear 3?
Let's see who the Carterville player was that got hit in the back. That would be Brock Chastain. He was, I don't know, pick a word, clubbed.
There are 2 hankies out there.
Yes, and they're both for the same penalty that everybody saw. So let's see what that'll be half the distance to the go. And let's see if DuQuoin takes a knee, or if they probably run a couple of plays here.
Yeah,
they got the reserves in. They want to get some playing time. Want to try to score.
So the ball is at the 8-yard line.
Fumble.
Ball's
and
on
Carterville's got the ball.
How about that?
And on the ball for Carterville was Chandler Jones. The junior.
Carterville's going to have 90 seconds to run off the clock. It's 1:32 remaining. Good game for the Lions.
Well, they knew they were in for a battle, and they were. Again, Carterville took the opening kickoff, just went down the field and scored no problem. Then DuQuoin made some adjustments on both sides of the ball. They tried to make it a game, scoring with the last play of the first half. But in the second half, after they turned the ball over on downs, I guess they punted. I can't remember. Either way, Carterville got the ball on their first possession, went right down and scored, and that was to me was when the game was decided.
Carterville has it at the Indian 7. They snap it to Skelcher, and he takes a knee. Clock will roll.
They can do it 2 more times, and a happy bus ride back to Carterville. Getting ready for an Anna Jonesboro team that has 1 win on the season.
And that'll be at home next Friday night. Hope you'll come out and join us. It's going to warm up to 95 for like Tuesday and Wednesday, but then it cools down.
Yes, next weekend is not supposed to be bad, so hopefully fall is
I'm ready
just
for
around the
hoodies,
corner.
buddy.
Yes.
I'm ready for the
I
hoodies.
am ready for that.
Under a minute. Skelcher has the clock at 6, 5, 4. Takes the snap, takes the knee. 1 more snap, and that's going to do it. Hey, your Carterville Lions. How about this, Scott Hudson? 54-19. They are 4-0 on the season and have looked good here early in 2022. And this is their first conference win of the year, too.
And the most points they've scored this year.
Yep.
54 because they had 49 last week.
That's a ball game.
But that's going to be it.
54-19. Carterville now 4-0 on the season. The DuQuoin Indians see their record fall to 1-3. Stay with us. Our Infinity Realty halftime or postgame report is coming up next on News Radio WJPF.
Pujols hit 698 tonight.
What?
Pujols hit number 698 tonight.
Competitive winning rates.
We'll do. (54-19) is the final score as the Carterville Lions beat the DuQuoin Indians here in the first conference game of 2022. Congratulations, Coach Brett Dial and the Lions. 4-0 on the season. And back-to-back dominating performances, Scott Hudson, from this Carterville Lions team.
Yeah, this was a dominating performance. It was a little bit different than last week's game where Carterville jumped out to a 21-0 lead and really just kind of coasted from there. This was more of a physical game. This was more of a game where DuQuoin, had some scores in that first half and at least made Carterville have to get those long drives, have those long drives in and score. So DuQuoin, I thought played well tonight. Offensively, they mixed things up a little bit. Hamilton is a very good runner, but in the end, Carterville was and is the better team, and they proved it in the second half by dominating DuQuoin.
Absolutely, and when you look at the score at the half. It was 27-12. Coming in to the second half, the Indians were going to have the ball. Carterville forced him into a fourth down situation, and they had to punt. And then with 8:15 remaining in the third quarter, Andrew Hellriegel scored on a 3-yard run. The extra point was good, 34-12. The Indians get the ball back. They go on a 9-play drive, 45-yard pass from Wallers to Colvin. That was with 5:55 remaining in the third, and it was 34-19. But this is it. The Lions get the ball back, and they go on a 5-play, 20-yard touchdown run from Bryce Smith right after that Indians touchdown. Extra point was good. That was at the 4:23 mark of the third, and the Lions led it heading to the fourth, 41-19. Carterville has the ball back going into the fourth, a 25-yard touchdown run from Bryce Smith. Extra point good, 48-19, and then 35-yard touchdown pass from Skelcher to Bishing, and that's the final score there, 54-19.
Just a great effort by the Lions tonight. This was not an easy game. Yes, you can look at the records. DuQuoin was 1-2, but they're better than 1-2. And Coach Dial told us that. He told his team that. They had to come out and play well, and they did. There were more penalties tonight on Carterville than there were last week. It wasn't a perfect game, but when you're a very good team, you don't have to be perfect to win because you have so many ways you can beat the opponent, whether it be with your defensive line or with your running game, or tonight, as we saw, with your passing game. Carterville had to use every facet of their game tonight to win this game, and I think that bodes well for them going forward.
We'll take our break. Coach Brett Dial is coming up next here on our Affinity Realty post-game report on News Radio WJPF.
John A. Logan and title sponsor Oasis Outdoors are excited to bring you the 2022 National Hunting and Fishing
30, all you need is a 30.
24th and 25th. Due to construction on the JALC campus, this year's event will be at the DuQuoin State Fairgrounds. The event is free with free parking. All the popular events return, like the Kids Fishing Hole, Duck and Goose Calling, Super Retriever Series, seminars, and over 100 the 2022 Johnny Logan College Hunting and Fishing Days are on September 24th and 25th at the DuQuoin State Fairgrounds. Visit SIHFD.org.
54-19, the final score as the Carterville Lions get the win over the DuQuoin Indians this evening, running their record to 4-0. Coach Brett Dial joins us here on our post-game report. First half, I mean, it was pretty good, but it was your Lions just took control in the second half and put the team away.
Well, I think that one of the things that I saw tonight is a little bit of what I've known we can do, and we really haven't shown it yet. They really started to pack it in. We were running the ball pretty well in that first quarter, and then I thought they started to bring quite a bit of pressure, and we just decided to start airing it out. And I have no idea what his numbers were, but it just felt like our receivers went to work tonight, and Andrew was throwing a pretty good ball, and I think they got in a pretty good rhythm. We had a lot of completions out there, and really put a lot of stress on their defense. They got to choose. Are you going to drop some guys out and help in a pass game, or are you going to put some guys up and try to stop the power running game? And once again, Bryce Smith it had another big night.
Yeah.
Just carrying people. We got in our power set there a little bit late in the second half, just to kind of try to eat some clock. And we were able to move the ball pretty well out of it. So, right now I feel pretty good. I think we scored a touchdown on every offensive possession tonight. And to do that on the road, here at DuQuoin against a physical team, that's not easy to do. And I feel like our guys are playing great. And, I got to give a shout out to the freshmen. I go back to 94 here, as a player and coach. And I can't recall a freshman starting for us other than maybe as a kicker. And we put the big guy in at center. And he came in his first game as a freshman center was at DuQuoin. And we were perfect on offense, like I said, with our series. So shout out to Jackson Smith stepping in for his brother who's probably out for just a couple weeks. Nothing I don't think too serious. But just another lineman that we've got some depth with. We think we're going to be getting Charlie Howerton back here real soon. So we're going to go from not a lot of depth on the line to having a lot of depth here real soon, and we're going to need that for this back half push.
Coach, a couple of points in the second half. I thought maybe midway through the third quarter is when your offensive line just started to wear down their defensive front, and that's something that your line can do. Not only because they're big, but because they're so quick, they just wore them down. And the other thing is, I just thought that when you get ahead of a team, you pretty much know what's coming from their offense. They become very predictable. That's what happened tonight in the second half. Guys like Cordes, Miller, Talon Walker, guys just chasing Waller around all night long. So it makes the defense a little easier when you know what's coming.
You know, and give DuQuoin credit. You know, that touchdown they put in right before the half, that was a problem for us. You know, we had a 27, I think it was 27-6 lead. We score with under a minute left, and then they drive it down in 50 seconds with the ball coming out of the half. So I'll tell you right now, you know, for about 20 minutes there in the middle of the night, I was sweating a little bit. You know, if they come out in that second half and on that first drive, if they're able to score right there, this place could blow up. So we really concentrated the half of stopping the momentum, getting a stop right there, and our defense did, and then the offense went back to work and kind of put the game away on that drive, I felt like. So really proud of our guys, complete effort. You know, we've got some things that we got to continue to work on, and, you know, one of the things we talked about out there after the game, you know, we can't be at the top of the mountain yet. We're still climbing. You know, we've got work to do. We cannot be peaking week 4. This isn't as good as it gets. This is another step in what we're trying to accomplish.
You know, we were coming into the game. Last week it was Bryce Smith that was the workhorse that did the work, and we hadn't really seen Andrew have to really throw the ball, but, man, he's got some good touch. And that catch that Nolan Hartford made, that fingertip catch there, he's got such a good group of receivers that can stabilize this offense.
I'm telling you guys, it's really hard to spread the ball around. You know, and I really appreciate the unselfish play of our kids. You know, they understand that there's a lot of playmakers and there's one football. And, you know, we talked on the very first day I met with the seniors, and one of the things we talked about is, you know, if we want to have the ultimate success this year, you know, we have to learn, you know, the word is mudita. You know, to have vicarious joy in the success of others. We've got to make sure when somebody else scores that we're the first one to greet them and that we have genuine happiness for their success. I saw that this last week with Bryce Smith. Bryce got a lot of accolades with the various awards, and our guys were fired up. A lot of them are sharing on Twitter, hey, vote for Bryce, vote for Bryce. They really support one another. That's important. You know, if we start bickering about who's getting what touch and this, that, and the other, well, then we're not going to be very good. You know, so right now we're going sideline to sideline. We got 7 guys. You know, there's 5 linemen. The other 7 have a chance to score. It makes it pretty dangerous.
A lot of times you'll find out, Coach, you know, a lot about your team after you face adversity. Well, you haven't had to face adversity from a loss yet, but tonight you had several penalties in that first half that, you know, you didn't have last week. But because your team is so talented and you can spread the ball around like we've talked about, you're able to overcome those penalties because you never know, the next play might be the big one.
You know, we just – I think one time we got it like 1st and 25 maybe, you know, in that first half, and I was really proud of our guys. You know, we had maybe a timeout or maybe there was an injury or something, and I know we had a chance to talk a little bit, and I said, guys, you know, it's 1st and 25. Relax, deep breath. We've got 4 plays to get 25 yards, and I know we can do this. And I think it took us 3, you know, so – we always have a chance, you know, to at least move the chains. I thought we played smart football tonight. I thought our clock management was a little bit better than it's been, and that's 100% on me. That's not the kids. That's me. But I felt like I thought they executed really well in that second half when we were trying to run some clock and how about the young guys coming in and making a play? You know, I'm not trying to run the score up at all, but, you know, I needed to see Brandon Skelcher, who comes in, who's backing up Andrew. I need to see him throw one of those quick screens. You know, that's something that if Andrew's in or out, we still have to get the ball to all those guys. And he showed me the ability to get the ball pretty quick out in the receiver's hands, and then Nick Bishing made a play. Nick Bishing's a great player. He's tearing it up at the JV level right now for us, and he's gonna be electric when he's a varsity guy full time.
54-19, the final score. Great game, Coach.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. And that's last trip to Van Meter for a long time, probably. So,
yeah.
Yes.
I hadn't even thought about that. You're exactly right.
We did. This is, you know, I got a ton of respect for this program. I love playing here. I hope maybe somewhere down the road we can get something going again. And it's a great field, great surface. They did a great job with their field project. And, you know, I think there's some good people over here, and it's usually a pretty good game. So respect these guys and wish them the best of luck moving forward.
Coach Brett Dow on our Infinity Realty postgame show after the 54-19 win. We're going to take a 30-second break. When we come back, we'll update some scores and get you out of here. This is Carterville Lions football on News Radio WJPF.
From fact.
Updating scores from around Southern Illinois. Centralia leads Carbondale 27-21. That's a fourth quarter score. Also, El Dorado over Vienna 42-16. That's a fourth quarter score. Of course, let's see here. Nashville over Anna Jonesboro 48-7. Marion gets a comeback win today after their first loss of the year last week, 36-14 over Cahokia. Chester shuts out Sparta 32-0. It was Benton over Heron 35-6. Johnston City a shutout win over Hamilton County 28-0. Cesar gets a shutout win over Edwards County 49-0. Carmi, White County beats CZR 53-16. Murfreesboro thumps Massac County 52-14. And then there are 4 games tomorrow. Flora at Fairfield at 1 o'clock. Madison at Granite City at 1 o'clock. Harrisburg takes on Frankfort 2 o'clock. And then Pinckneyville and Oblong at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon as well. 54-19, our final score here at Van Meter Field. Scott, that was a good game.
No hangover after the big win over Murfreesboro last week. And, this is a veteran group for Carterville. A lot of these kids started varsity as sophomores. So, they weren't going to overlook a DuQuoin team that was really in need of a win. And DuQuoin played a very good first half, but in the second half, Carterville's skill and their size and quickness really wore down DuQuoin. And Carterville goes to 4-0. Kind of a little bit of a trap game maybe next week against AJ. Hopefully the Lions won't overlook them and look towards the Nashville Hornets, who they have in 2 weeks. But great start to the season, and this team is fun to watch.
Yes, they are. 54-19, the final score next week. Anna Jonesboro comes to Carterville. We'll have all the action starting 6:40 with our pregame coverage. For our producer engineer back at the studio, Brian R. Powell. For my broadcast partner, Scott Hudson, I'm Dave McKenzie. Carterville Lions win it 54-19 on the road at DuQuoin. They are 4-0 on the season, 1-0 in the River to River Conference. Thank you for listening and watching Carterville Lions football here with News Radio WJPF. God bless everybody.
This Carterville Lions broadcast has been brought to you by Banterra Bank.
See you in the morning, Dave.
See you, bud.